Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam, thank you so much. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter. How to? Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is.
And you took my time to God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you
no, I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend me.
No, sorry.
Alexi.
I'm sorry.
Alexi.
Okay. Children are born and put on a rubber stool. No, I tell people, Dr. Damages, you need to come, if you want to know the level of poverty in Nigeria, you need to enter the Nigerian hospital. You'll be walking at the doctor, sometimes you cry. Sometimes we use our money to give patients. So when people see doctors go on strike, I get mad. I had to leave. It's painful. You see a child that you're taking care of. After a few days, the child is retrogressing. The child is getting worse by the day because the drug you recommended, you prescribe for the child, they cannot take the child's prescription to the pharmacy. There is no money. They don't have money in their account. The little baby that is so fragile, you manage to take their blood sample. They cannot process the blood sample because the person at the lab said no, they don't have the money in their account. They will take my salary if I process this sample. So you watch the innocent baby retrogress. What do? You take our money from your pocket and give that parent, madam, please go and put in this account. Let me see this child get better. And we're here defending thieves because they give you $5,000, $1,000. What is $1,000? Children are born and put on plastic chairs in Nigeria. Are we not ashamed of ourselves? And we'll call Obi stingy. Let him be prudent and let us have functioning hospitals. Let us have good roads. Our people are dying. Children are dying by the day. I had somebody when I was in Calabar. And when I was still a medical student, the man I used to buy something from at Amaya Market, his child was born premature. Guess what? But the child was older than the other child that survived. Why did his child die? Because the child missed the last incubator that was available. The other child that was born that was weak had the incubator. His child did not have any incubator. They had to wrap the child and put a lamp beside him. That child died. That child died. And you don't have the effrontery to come here and defend Tinubu.
Oh no, it's so sad. It's so sad.
You want to know poverty? Enter the hospitals of Nigeria. You don't know nothing. So we have to be very careful. What we very careful. Very careful. There's poverty in the land. There's poverty in the land. A lot of poverty in the land. People die by the day.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to be covering the topics at hand. The first one is Fubara signs 1.18 trillion naira in budget. Obasanjo rejects invitation to NNPC, and Tinubu visits Enugu. So that will be interesting to hear your opinion. I'm not going to talk a lot on these things, and you guys can, I will just now and again ask questions and try to moderate from the back seats, at least in this session, until it gets to the part 2, where it is have your truth. This one is have your say, as you can see. It's clearly for you guys to have your say. And I noticed that the viewership is not where it's supposed to be because Dr. Damages is not streaming. The channel is not streaming. Where are thou? You all have been told to move here. How is it? Some people still don't know this. But it's all right. We'll give you time to make it to this side, because normally when Dr. Damaji is streaming, a lot more people join, but he's not there now, and it means that a lot of people haven't switched over yet to Iroko Post TV. Iroko Post TV is where this live stream is happening now, no longer on Dr. Damages. So search for Iroko Post TV on YouTube and get it there. And in case somebody that you know hasn't switched over, you can confirm, ask them whether they know where the new live stream is being held. Okay, so let me just play this video so that we can go on and discuss some of these topics, and I will include the link to join the discussion now. So feel free to join us here to discuss these issues. After all, it's have your say. And all right, let me just play this quickly.
Has invited former President Olusegun Obasanjo to tour the rehabilitated refineries and witness firsthand the progress made. The invitation follows earlier criticisms by the former president in an interview where he questioned the operational capacity of the Port Harcourt refinery, which recently came on stream. NNPCL, in a statement earlier today, said the invitation extended to the former president is for him to verify the operational status of the oil processing facility in Rivers State. The NNPCL says the facility is designed to meet world-class standards. NNPCL also explained that it has expanded beyond oil and gas to become an integrated energy company, which focuses not only on harnessing traditional resources, but also on developing cleaner, cheaper, and sustainable energy solutions to meet Nigeria's growing demands.
So that is it. They invited our former president to this thing. I gather that he didn't take up the invite. I don't know whether that is out of good faith or out of bad belly. We don't know. So let me go play the video for the governor budget.
Budget of 1.1 trillion naira into law. This comes less than a week after he presented the appropriation bill to lawmakers loyal to him.
Governor Fubara has so far defied pressure from the opposition to present the 2024 and 2025 budgets to the House of Assembly led by Martin Amewule. While the dispute over membership and leadership in the state legislature lingers, the governor insists it will not be distracted from the business of governance. He appends his signature to the budget, paving the way for its implementation.
Let me first thank the River State House of Assembly for doing a very diligent job and also realizing that what we have ahead of us is to continue to work for Rivers people. So I want to thank you for working very, very hard and ensuring that we hit the ground running in this new year.
Governor Fubara denied allegations of presenting the budget before an illegitimate House of Assembly.
I want to say this, maybe for some persons somewhere who are still mixing up issues. We have only one assembly, and that assembly is headed by Right the Honorable Victor Okojo.
Your Excellency, we have no doubt that you will carry out the task of developing and delivering the dividends of democracy to every nook and cranny in River State. So, Your Excellency, on behalf of the 10th River State House of Assembly, Your Excellency, we want to say thank you for being the people's governor. And thank you for the strategic partnership with the legislature. Your Excellency, 2025 promises a year of exponential growth in River State.
While the political class lock horns, the ordinary man on the street will be looking out for how the projections in the 2025 budget adds value to their lives.
Thank you for joining me, guys. So yeah, welcome, Jonaba. I don't know, maybe if you want to comment on the previous live feed, or you want to comment on Obasanjo attending the refineries and or the Fubara one. I don't know which one you want to start with. So what do you think?
Good afternoon from this end, and to young man, etc. On
Centric
the
cast.
etc. Good afternoon from this end. It's nice to be with you guys. On the issue of Obasanjo, uh, I have little or no word. When I see people like Obasanjo and see Nigerian political class, I wonder how this generation think. Bringing people like Obasanjo to the front line, the very people that kept us where we are, it's a sign to me that we are not ready to move forward. Reference to them, get them invited to our issues. They have no clue the damage they have done to black race, Nigeria as a country. And for them to still be on the news, a point of reference and influence and decision making, to me, it's a sign of backwardness. And it is what it is. I just can figure it out. How did the leader that are not doing well today will look at this generation that is not holding them accountable, rather to promote them or make them relevant, or think that how they still influence society in 21st century. It's mind-boggling to me. Uh, it's not about Obasanjo and NNPC. It's one of the person that destroyed NNPC, by the way, for his own political game anyway. And they always think uh, about themselves and what suit them, or they fight between them and the next person, and not and doing nothing to build institutions that outlive them and for the next generation. There is a say that where two elephants fight, the grass will suffer it. We are suffering for the elite fight and between themselves today, and I don't think it has stopped. And I don't see the youth holding them accountable. At least shun them. If you can't do them anything, just shun them. Just turn blind eyes on them and talk about issue that is relevant to you and the next generations, and point out, like the guest we had earlier on, was able to articulate his message. People may believe or not believe, but it's a brilliant mind. And those are the people we want to share. We want to hear from them. What did they think? How will we implement some of their ideas to build a better society, and not to promote the very people that mortgage our life and our life than the life of the unborn ones. The governor issue of rivers, that is their local state fight. He's gathering his own people in rivers, while Wike is gathering them celebrating New Year in Abuja. I think there are few continues. It's also played to the mind of a black man that as far as it's to your own benefit, you don't care to play the game of a stooge. So there is just, he have his own followers, Wike have his own followers, and Rivers people have to make sure that they focus in developing their place, and the elder will continue to have a dialogue to make sure that this fuel will not escalate or affect their economy in one way or the other. I think that's what they should make a point. Signing 1 point something trillion, whatever they sign, it's Nigeria. So, but the most important thing, they should not. I should not to not let it drain their state. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm thinking that maybe it shouldn't have been a bad thing for Obasanjo to visit the refineries. If I was him, if they ask me to visit, I'll get all the experts I need, about 10 or 20 of them, bring them along, check all the refinery, check every single thing that is working as it's supposed to. Because these type of things is about the nation, it's not about individuals. That's why I look at it. So that people know what is actually going on there. You get experts that can detect if they are just doing it for show or if it is there to stay. It's proper refinery. And when they go,
What is? Do you know what Obasanjo did during his time in in that sector? Do you know what he did? Do you know the first person who started sending crude abroad and then bring it to Nigeria?
was he the
What
one?
did he? Eh?
Was he the one?
Of course. And by the way, Obasanjo should be, in those days, they don't know their age. They'll just say we went to war and all of that. Obasanjo should be either statesman, not to, if he already done his own to the best of his knowledge. He always quote that if you know best, you do best, or you do what you know. He has done what he has to do. But as of this age, people like you, etc., and the brilliant mind around the world can gather the expert. It may not be your field of expert, and you have the energy to walk around. Will he use stick to go and walk around the premises without taking a good medication? Do you think on his own now he can fall from his bed now and just have accident because of his age? So what is his business of going and be walking around the spanner, or he'll be inside the car and they will point at look at what we are saying. What is the point of him going there? He can send this party. If he, as a state man, he can send people and they'll come and give him the report. This is what we have seen. This is what is he going there for? To go and fall down there?
I guess I hear your point, but he does go out. He goes to places.
Yeah, those are party. He walk from where to another. At least he has to walk around. But to go to facility like that, if it's my father and they invite, it's an insult even, and even in a good faith. Why are you going there for? To go and walk around this, or you just stay inside the car and they point at for you? How many kilometers? How many mile will he? How many steps can he really take right now? Come on. Nigeria need more people, and that's why it hurt me that they will allow people that in their best mind, when they are useful, they will allow them to be old, get dementia, get medicated to come and talk to the nation before they allow them to become a president. I don't understand why they. I'm not saying that the youth are not corrupt. We have seen a case of Yahaya Bello and the other ones, but the point is that uh, they cannot physically are able to do some of those things anymore. Walk around, make sure you visit places because this country, regardless how you think about 60 years of independence, Nigeria is still need a lot of work for to build a new foundation to make us competitive. You cannot give that job to old man wearing agbada around, wearing cap like show my brother wear today. You cannot go around and and wearing it's too hard.
That's simply be harsh, but I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, but I just feel like
It's
this
not
refinery
they
business.
don't fit. They don't have the physical. You see, where there is system running. We see Biden was trying to run again, and on debate he melt down and things turn around. Even the difference in age is not that much with Donald Trump, but there is a system. Even 8 years old can still do the job. We don't have a system. We need somebody that really understand and follow up, physical follow up. Physical follow-up. Appear in Abuja today, appear in Sokoto tomorrow, appear in Lagos. We need a team of people to build this nation. This nation is going nowhere as it is now. It's not a job that even as fit as you are, you still need extra energy to run this race. And if you are told to build a nation for the next generation, not this decayed foundation infrastructure around. No, there's nothing. You don't give that kind of job to old man or to go and visit NNPC. I don't think it's a job of people like Obasanjo at this age.
Yeah, you would think so. There is also this thing that is going on. He also went to President Tinubu went to Enugu to visit, and let me just play this. Some people, the Biafrans, the Simon Ekpa clan, believe that there's something up. Let's see.
No volume. Volume, please.
My apologies. Thank you for alerting me to that sooner rather than later. All right, let me play it again.
You when you do one single bad, but if you do a million times good.
Say whatever you like about these guys. They are media experts. Look at the way he said, like, share, and subscribe. I don't think we've ever said it that fast before. Just hear it.
They won't even recognize it. That is the irony of life. So, my people, let us go straight to the reason why we're here. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. Don't forget, my name still remain and one and only Okurola One Nation. We are not two. Nnamdi Kanu, unless indeed we don't come out to come begin to say to Tinubu, say, if you visit Enugu State, say, make it come there, come release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But I thought Bola Ahmed Tinubu had been banned from going to the southeast. Oh, okay. He defied all means simply because Simon Ekpa is out of the way. Can you see it? Even these people say they are afraid. They are afraid. In the presence of Simon Ekpa, but in the absence, then all of them want to go there. And yet, some people will come out and tell me that Simon Ekpa does not matter. Who told you? You think they don't know that Nigeria have expired? This is a clear indication that even Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Chief of Defense Staff, many times they don't tell him, if you say your head get oil, make it cross Biafra territory. Musa never crossed there for once. Inspector General of Police never crossed there for once. But Inspector General of Police now is in Enugu State for 2 days visit because Simon Ekpa is normal. Not normal. Simon Ekpa is out of the way for some. Temporal out of the way. Military went to Amufu, shooting sporadically, burning people's houses, including the people inside. We didn't see the governor of Enugu State.
So the gist is that I don't know whether he has said that yet. He is saying that the President Tinubu is likely to release Nnamdi Kanu after visiting Anambra, Enugu State. So I'm not so sure that is true, but there you go. But let me play President Tinubu in Enugu, then Senticals can have his say on this. That is President Tinubu in Enugu, and let's hear him.
And I could see a traditional ruler who was once my neighbor in Victoria Island, Obi of Onitsha. It's good to have you, and you are looking well. I thank God for you. Thank God for your life. The members of the National Assembly are present, and the former presiding officers honorable ministers here present, let me just do justice to the protocol already established by the governor. He's a man who knows better. He sees tomorrow today. And he's doing a fantastic job. And my dear brothers, Alex Oti and the man who stitched democracy for us.
I just thought I should share that anyway, just as a completion of the title of the discussion we are supposed to be having. I think all he was saying, but I think he says he's basically saying his policies are quite good, even if it is challenging. That's basically the speech, really. Nothing much there. So there are different topics to discuss. The one that fascinated me the most, surprisingly, is the Obasanjo one, though, I must say, because I would have thought somebody would want to take the opportunity to go and verify, because that previous guest that came was saying that the refineries are not actually producing, they are not cracking petroleum. Petrol, I mean, which is a bit sad, really, because they spend how much on this? So, and if it's not cracking petroleum, that is quite disturbing. So I don't know what you make of it, Eccentricals. What do you make of any of the topics?
Before, please, Father, before Eccentrical, give me 1 second. I want to say shout out to my young man's show. I just trying to get at him because he said I didn't make fun of Rudolph glasses, but that's why I was saying that his hat, I mean the flower, whatever he's wearing, it's beautiful on him. That is what he can use to cover his bald head, like me anyway.
All right. So nice one, show. Please go ahead and set your cast.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's what time is it? 12:56 here. It's 12:56 p.m.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was going to talk about the guest that came on. He touched on a lot of topics, right? It wasn't. He didn't really he didn't really spend time on most of the things that he brought up. You know what I mean? And he went through quite a lot. And I think the bone of contention with some of the guests, some of the panelists, was on his claim that there were no ports, in the east. And someone mentioned that the only port is actually functional, which I verified. The only port is actually functional, and I mean, outside of that, I don't think any of the point that he made were nullified, right? And there was something he mentioned, reserve-based lending. I wish he went into depth on the reserve-based lending and what type of reserve-based lending Nigerians actually use, for to get a loan for for building refineries, right? Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and he went into the upstream and the midstream sector and the downstream sector of oil. And it's I mean, I'm pretty sure if he had time he would have gone in depth. You know what I mean? That's something that we don't usually do, go in depth in this type of topics.
Yeah. But I think Dr. Damages was a kind of interviewing him at first now, so I would have thought he would have.
Damages. Damages was not really. He's not. I mean, I don't expect everyone to be. He's not really informed in that type of topic, right? And how the oil sector works. You know what I mean? He went through a lot of points, but he didn't expatiate on the points. I hope, I would wish for him to bring the guy back, to kind of ask him specific questions, especially on the reserve-based lending. How what type of reserve-based lending does Nigeria, get? You know what I mean? And who are the lenders? I think he mentioned J.P. Morgan Chase. I don't know if they're part of the lenders. I believe that there are other lenders. Also, like oil refining. Like the process of refining oil. I think he had a disagreement with some panelists about refining PMS, whatever. Is that PMS? Yeah. I think if the refinery is fully functional, it should be able to refine PMS. I mean, it goes through a lot of process, right? Talk about first of all the downstream sector, where oil is discovered, and then in upstream sector, where it's refined, and then the midstream sector where the oil is, transported, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit unusual today, though, that we had a guest before have your say, because normally when you have a guest, we have time to discuss what they said and all those things. So we just didn't have enough time to discuss what he said. Do you think we should just watch some of the stuff he said and react to it or something?
I think that would be actually good. You know what I mean? Because a lot of things that he talked about could be broken down in sections. Because he was jumping a lot. You know what I mean? He was jumping a lot, but he's if you piece everything together, it kind of gives you an idea of like where he's trying to get. What point he was trying to make. But when it comes to the oil sector thing, the PMS and all that, he kind of went in. He kind of like touched on it. For layman. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get him on. Are you okay with that, Janaba and Lokopi? You may want to sit up. Oh. This one is not where you come and you just go and sleep. Haven't you heard? This is 2025. We are all supposed to be professional media personnel. Lokopi, sit up. What is wrong with this one? You came and you put your camera facing the ceiling. How are you doing, Lokopi?
Because he may not be able to defend and is not here, and the question was not directed at any of us here. For us to go back there, I think to me it's unnecessary. And the question that they asked him, he clarified. Kolata asked him, and he clarified with Kolata. The only thing that was tense a little bit was asking him if he's a consultant with Dangote, and he said no.
So it's not about the question; it's about the content of the show.
Yeah,
it's not about the question.
But the cost is.
Yeah,
give
the
me one
aspect
example.
Where they ask him questions, I don't think it's necessary because most of the questions were not even related to what he was talking about. Most people that were asking him questions had preconceived notions. People like Pansat, if you were on the chat, because I was on the chat, they actually said what they were going to ask. So I knew they already have preconceived notion. The Pansat believed that he worked for Dangote, and Ovi, believed that he supports GMO, all that kind of conspiracy crap. First of all, when it comes to GMO, most of what people believe is based on conspiracy theory, kind of like what do you call that? Nuclear power, right? A lot of people believe that nuclear power is not good, based on not based on a proper research from and reputable
and the benefit aspect of it.
sources. Exactly. It's usually conspiracy like GMOs are not really that bad. They're not most of the things that you buy in the shops. The OV that I was talking, most of the things that you buy at Walmart, anywhere, Trader Joe's.
To your own saying on GMO, etc., etc. For me, I'm not totally against it. It's like when you go to Walmart now to buy grape, and then there is a seedless one, which is they just make that. So sometimes people prefer that they don't want the seed in it, right? My own with coming to African space, I think we still have the land to make our food is still more of organic. Like it's not because the masses are to grow that we need a mass production of anything. It is because we don't have the infrastructure that support even what we have right now. If you go places in Nigeria, going to Benue, all of that, you see how the fruits are being wasted. Mango, guava, all of those things. So there is even enough that we could not preserve for the societies that we need more. So
most of our
why
most of
don't
our
we
Just before you answer, have we decided that these topics that we are discussing are useless? Let's so that we just wander into the wilderness. Because
let me
have
say
we
something
decided?
on that. First, with the 2 video he played, nobody was talking about the 2 video he played. You're just digressing a little bit.
No, because nobody seems to care about the topics like Fubara creates a budget. Who cares?
You are brothers. You are the pilots. You are the pilot. You steer the ship.
There's only so much you can pilot to. You can't pilot.
You can stay fine, but I mean, like Obasanjo, I don't even understand. I mean, Tinubu, right? I don't understand what his intention, what he was doing, right? It was just the video was just quick. I didn't know what was going on. I know Ohaneze Igbo was there, and Tinubu was there, of course, wearing Igbo garb. You know how it is, just to persuade people. I mean, this is probably him campaigning for the next election. This is probably what it is. He's doing all this just to get votes. I mean, I didn't get anything out of that. There's nothing. Nothing I can get out of that video. So that's why I didn't.
And the other video that you show is a propaganda video because he has visited the East so many times. So this is not his first time of visiting the East. I'm talking about Obasanjo. So I'm talking about Tinubu, please. So the issue is that these people can just take advantage of anything and say anything they want to say. But then this is not his first time, regardless of disagreeing with him and all of that. Another thing is
look at the comment. He said GMO is not good. But the thing is, like, before you say that, before you make a blanket statement like that, you have to actually know what GMO is. Like, no, I don't even know I don't know all the intricacies of GMO. I don't understand the chemistry behind it. But I know that they are making some of the seeds resistance to some pests.
or seedless.
Making some seeds, some crops resistance to things that attack them. Like, for instance, we have fruits in Nigeria that always have bugs. If you bring them to the airport, they will take them away from you because they have, because they.
No. That's not the reason.
You triggered local people.
No.
Before you are talking as if you are eating hot egg. Keep quiet.
It's okay. You're gonna have time to refute it.
Hot yam.
We're gonna have that discussion, right? There are some fruits that we have that have bugs in them. I've gone to Nigeria and brought some stuff here, and they took it at the airport. They're like, "Hey, this thing is banned because they carry some kind of bugs that they don't want."
You bought expired stuff. Why not buy fresh and see?
I got it from the local markets. So
even if you local market, it's old stuff.
I think that's true.
Because you can buy fresh next time. Buy fresh.
There's a ban. There's the ban placed on it. It's just they don't have to look to see if anything is wrong with it. There's a ban.
No, there are airport. Let me tell you, there are airport like in America that you through your entrance that you enter America, that some of them will be picked from you and some will be left with you, especially seed, live stuff, and all of those things. So it has nothing to do with a particular thing because of GMO. This will be nice.
Well, I spoke with them. They told me that particular fruit, has bug issues. You know what I mean?
Apart from that, there are fruits that they're bound.
Now, hold on. Let me tell you, there is something about food, right? About food. The thing is, before they place ban on it, right? It's not the fruit itself or the food itself. After taking the food or fruit go through process or wherever, they see that there's consistent kind of prohibited substance in it, either substance that is used to preserve it that is banned, or what have you. It's not that the food itself. Like I'll use beans for instance. Yeah, beans is not a bad food. Beans is a well-known food. You have it, whatever. But they stop allowing
particular beans. Which particular one? Which particular
beans? Generally, beans
anything that is a seed, and they even sometimes they do it ignorantly. Let me explain.
You can't ship it because of shipping beans because they use what they call they use this chemical called sniper to preserve it. So that if you are shipping it, it won't start growing whatever inside the container or whatever. So because of that, it's not the beans itself. They'll tell you all the beans that they've allowed so far. They've tested and see that they've used sniper to preserve it. Because of that, they just banned beans totally. It's not because
So
because it's
from what
beans, they banned it.
From what country?
Sorry?
It's based on a country though. Sometimes, like you can't
That's what I'm
import.
telling you now. I said the one I'm using the ones I know from Nigeria. They will tell you they don't ship beans because they find out that over the time they use sniper to preserve it. If you're traveling with it, you travel with it as a checking luggage. You can carry with you on the bag because yes, but when it comes to like shipping, through cargo, whatever, they ban it because they know they must have used sniper to preserve it because it takes a long time through cargo process to get to where the destination. So by so doing, it must have, it will be growing muco or growing seed or growing leaves or whatever. So they ban it, but it's not because of the beans itself, but because of the chemical used in preserving it.
Some fruits have invasive bugs, right? Like Odara, I mentioned. Odara have like invasive, like sometimes at a certain time, if you open Odara, you see worms in it. Those worms are invasive bugs that can affect other plants.
Are you telling me if you pluck it, hold on, are you telling me if you pluck them from the tree directly and you open it, you see bug in there?
It depends on the time that you pluck it.
Not
exactly.
Likely.
You are buying old stock. You are telling me buy fresh.
No, if you pluck it when it's ripe, it's likely gonna have that. And so the place, what do you want to take the risk? You totally place it down on. Like for instance, here in Washington State, there's a problem with apples here. There's a bug that infects apple in our state. You know what I mean? And then they'll, when they have apple farms, they will tell you that this part of apple farm has this infection. You know what I mean? Like there was a time we had that. A lot of apple farms had that.
So what is your point now that it is that we should have GMOs?
Embrace GMO.
Most of those fruits, you can use GMO processes to prevent those bugs from getting on the plant.
We have enough of fruit. We don't need the GMO. Is another fastest way. Is the fastest way of making.
Most EU countries don't allow GMO, but yeah, they are able to export.
There are too many seeds.
Yes, no, it has nothing to even do with the export. If anything that has a seed in it and they think you can grow it, they don't allow agricultural product that they don't allow. Country have that rules, but then Nigerian have some things that they say, okay, do not. Like even here, if you go to the farm here and you kill a cow, they will not allow you to take the head. So for what do they call it, mad cow disease or whatever. So if you are bringing it from Nigeria, Nigerian people would like to pack in some of those things that they don't allow. They'll throw it out of your. And there are things that has a seed in it. They don't want it. They don't want you to come and plant it here. So there are many reasons. People sneak it here and there, but they don't allow it. And it has to do with their own way of preserving what they have. And when it comes to GMO, we have GMO is artificial stuff that we have original one wasting. We don't even, we are just talking about electricity to preserve and process.
So are we now talking
food.
about GMO? I will find a way to change it.
They say that the GMO is a GMO idea that is a good thing for Africa. While the one we have, we are not even having a way of preserving it and use it well. We are talking about waste agricultural product across Nigeria, mango, all kind of food we don't. And the reason, even the yam, the pounded yam we are having here is a flour mixed with something. We are having real yam there, and we have not coming up with a way of make it useful and serve the masses. So these are the problems we are having. GMO is for those people who have a lot of number of people who are testing one thing or the other, want to have much production. Chicken will grow overnight. Is that what you want to eat?
Chicken will grow overnight. So I get the point regarding the reluctance with GMO, because one, you don't control the technology. Except we control the technology to make GMO crops, we shouldn't bother with it, because one, you have to be going to them to buy seeds. What kind of dependency culture is that? You don't need that grammar. So that is my issue with GMO. It's my main issue. Yeah,
I agree. That's a good criticism of GMO, but that's not what we want to talk about, right? That's not the topic. Can you?
Yeah, it's not the topic now. That one is just warm up. But it's a bit unfair that we didn't get a chance to dissect the previous interview. Normally, we get a chance to rip him apart and see what he has said. Because I didn't listen to most of it, so I probably would have liked to hear it.
No, you're right. We didn't have time to dissect, the interview. The interview is preloaded. It's packed, with a lot of information. You know what I mean? Which I would implore anyone to just go back to the interview, take some notes, do your research. Like, it's packed. And That way we can, you know what I mean? The thing is, the panelists are not always prepared. You know what I mean? Like you got Pansat trying to fight with the guest, and Pansat was talking about something non-related. You know, with the, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like if we want to have a professional conversation, like I wish I watched this video on Rice TV. I would have been more prepared and come on the panel to ask him questions. You know what I mean? You know, some people just came in, antagonizing the guy. You know, thinking he has a political agenda. You know, the Nigerian style. Everything is always politics.
I don't know why they do that when the person is just having an opinion about stuff. And as a matter of fact, he is one of the people that is holding the government foot to the fire in the Nigerian space. Whenever I watch him. Because the others are just like singing nonsense tones. He will be like calling them out on what they are doing with Dangote Refinery, what they are doing with the economy, and quite a lot. That's why I didn't even like feel strongly to come and question him in any way. But I felt like at least he is holding them to an extent accountable. The media don't do that much.
And he living in Nigeria, forefather. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay.
He living in Nigeria and take this step, criticizing these people. Today, you can see how he walk on the fine line. He don't want to be political on any issues. It's because he knows his environment and he don't want to get there. And I applaud Dr. Damages always, especially when Pansat come with this racial issue. Anything Fulani is a bad thing, even if it's a contestant with Dangote. And so what? And so what?
So he mentioned turnaround maintenance, right? And the oil refinery. That was a very important thing that he mentioned, right? Like how they use turnaround maintenance to kind of siphon money. You know, like they will budget money for turnaround maintenance. Every administration would budget some money, a lot of money. You know, the money he was mentioning was a lot, $2 billion for turnaround maintenance.
But what you are saying, he also said that can even build a new refinery with a new technology.
Exactly.
Why bother to be maintaining what you are? It's not even producing PMS or whatever from those refineries.
I think it's a money laundering scheme. The whole, turnaround maintenance.
It's a corruption.
Every administration will do a turnaround maintenance and use that to siphon money, outside. You know what I mean? Somehow, the whole thing, it's pretty revealing. You know what I mean? It's
that's why like I think maybe I would have even gotten new insight into some of his reasoning, because it's fascinating. Like you said, it would be interesting to actually go through. Is this maybe if we are doing a part 2, then maybe one can look into that really, because he's one of those few people that when you interview him, he will probably reveal a lot of information of what is actually going on the ground in terms of technical information about what is going on the ground. It's a shame I didn't get to watch too much of him, and it's a 3-hour session too. Normally, we do longer periods to have time to have questions for the guests and all that stuff. So it's a shame. Hopefully, we'll come back again. So let me see what Show is saying there. One of the reasons Kelvin was antagonized is because he calls out the government. You should be able to see the pattern. David Hudeyi, Rufai Hosseini also faced similar when they came here. Rufai Hosseini was here. I didn't know he was here. Okay, that's good. At least he came down. Let me see if I can shuffle some of his some of his statements, because it looks like some of the stuff the guy said maybe what's person a little bit. Since it looks like nobody cares. Does anybody care about the original topics that we have up top up here? Look at that. Jadova is like, no, I can't be asked.
Question I want to ask for others.
This one is going to be a bad pilot. It's okay.
Question I want to ask for others. Did Obasanjo attend the NNPC stuff?
No, he didn't. He rejected it.
Okay, this and that. But if not, if the Nigerian government or the NNPC management, if they're not clowns, what would they expect from Obasanjo? Like, he should come and tell them his expertise about how the refinery is supposed to be run. Is to come and give them his input, his experience.
No. It's to confirm the function of the refinery. Whether it is
why do you need Obasanjo to confirm? Who is Obasanjo? Why do you need to confirm?
Because they don't have credibility now.
So now you're talking. So not about, because on a very good day, Which proof do Obasanjo have to certify anything there in NNPC? What knowledge does he have? What certificate does he have to know that?
No,
yes,
he could take his own experts. He could take his own experts to go and
Why
check.
don't a Nigerian that wanted him to go and inspect the refinery, why can't they be bold enough and tell him that we want to come to Ota Farm, which is a Nigerian farm that he converted to his personal
we carry
farm?
to be you. We convert to be you.
Eh?
You
Why
understand?
can't the Nigeria have that boldness to say, okay, refinery is something that contributes substantial income and enhancing the society, as good as that, so also the farm. Why can't opposite be the this thing? Why must they want him to go there? These people really are, I'm very disturbing, and this brought me to you forefathers. Maybe this will give you fired up. Um, the last time when Dr. Perry and the other young man was on the show, you were fired up based on the it's a question from me to you. I want to, because I didn't have time enough. Because I waited for so long. It's always as a minority that they discriminate against me. So I was already pissed off before they got to me. So I was just ramping and get out of there. So what I was thinking it should be the value you hold, not on the Sharia issue, but on the consequences of the action to Nigerian people, especially the criminal in our society, those that are presiding over institutions that never work. They are the real criminal. And he is talking about let us judge our people with our own law, that you guys are not trying to, so let it be the modern one and all of that. And you were fired up. I was thinking you coming to champion, yes. It's not necessarily have to be Sharia or in your own way, but have our own way of judging our people, our own court system. And at least we can now have opportunity, whether use the Christian influence, Islam influence, and every other tradition, and every other society we have seen that they have put something together, China and the rest of the country that are thriving based on the rule of law, untouchable. So I was working. I said I will ask you. That's why I came yesterday, but I have to move before then I get out because I saw you and the
Yeah.
Jide and etc.
There's some element of truth to what you said. He was kind of giving his reason for supporting the Sharia law partly because of the way it would penalize criminal behavior, which from that point of view, most people would say, yeah, let them chop their hand off. That would teach them a lesson, stuff like that. However, but Sharia law doesn't end there. It has other aspects that come with it. It has other aspects like expanding religious
Trojan
beliefs
is
into
what like
the
that.
Nigerian state.
Trojan.
Yeah. It has other aspects that will expand religious input into the Nigerian legal system, and that the expansive aspect of it could cause serious problem because for some reason religions they don't seem to know how to compromise a lot. So the best framework internationally that I have seen tends to be a secular system that insulates the state from religious doctrine. Like if you look at Turkey now, Turkey is a vastly, I think 90-something% of them are Muslims, and yet they have a secular constitution. And many countries, even in Asia and the Middle East, from what I gather, they are also Sharia. They are supposed to be Sharia, but they still create a secular system of this illegal rules. Even if most of those rules are inspired by Sharia, just like most of our current law is also inspired by Christian beliefs. That's why you see that our current laws say you are not allowed to marry two wives, at least in the West, anyway, not in Nigeria.
But it's not really that different though. Like the Sharia law and the Christian law isn't different because if you look at the two religions, they all come from the same root. So when they say Sharia is just a word, Christian law, Sharia law.
Sharia is different. Sharia allows you to marry 4 wives. Christian one doesn't let you. Sharia law will take your hand. Christian law will not take your hand.
Perry was saying that, because I watched it, Perry was saying that every society should have what work for them. And even right now in Nigeria, they still have it, apart from the Sharia. Even if you go to the east or go to Benin now, there are still family who hold some traditional value, how they go about their civil cases without even get police involved in it. So that is what he's trying to promote, that let us hold dear on our own. And he went to the point of saying the castration is something terrible, that why are we going through all of those things? So what Perry was saying is not introducing it that, okay, you cannot have your own. And he's not saying the secular customary court will not work. But he's just saying that this is how our society function, and we have held it down for years. And why do we not go, and Sharia is okay, Christian can have their own Christian value law, and it's in the area where they are dominated. You cannot bring Sharia now to Enugu. But if Hausa community is big, listen to me, in a particular area, they can choose to use it within their own local area where they dominate. So he was using an example of Utah here in America, that they discriminate polygamy. So all of those things is just the same people with the same value that live in the same certain place. They can choose their rule of law, how they govern themselves. Instead of some cases you take to court, it linger there for years and you not get the benefit of it. That is what he's trying to say. It's not like, okay, a Christian will be enforced to practice Sharia law. Sharia law, a Christian will force a Muslim. No, that's not. If you go to Igbo land right now, you will see some community, it's very, very hard for you to invite police without going through the local way of their own tradition. You allow the people know that, okay, this is happening. This is also, it's a way of society work together just to get some certain things resolved outside the modern way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I saw people going so bad, like, oh, he's introducing something and he's a doctor, you should know better. What?
Wait, is this what we're talking about right now?
First thing first.
This is like, man, look at me.
What? You got my name now. What?
Implore you not to be. No. Okay, go ahead. You say whatever you want to say. I don't know. I don't care.
Don't worry. I don't want you to care, Seth. Don't worry.
You got to do something belligerent right now. That's why I'm like, all right, go ahead.
So what?
So you're gonna say something belligerent. That's
no problem. Yeah, to your ear, and I'm fine. And I'm fine with it. Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to say, like, for what you know by say, yeah. It's look. It's two things. Like I said, the religion itself, or the mode of practice, or whatever you want to call it itself, it's not really the problem, because it's just a name. You understand? It's the practice that projects the name, or that demonizes the name, or that glorifies the name, the practice of whatever you call it. You understand? And there's always what we call a pattern. If there's a pattern to it, and the pattern might lead to something else, people will just put one or two together and say, no, this pattern, I see where it's going to. I don't think we want it. You understand? So, but in a nutshell, you say they don't like Sharia, but it might just be because the way what you call Sharia is being practiced, and it's like, no, I don't think we want this kind of stuff here. It will be dangerous for us. And if you say you are doing it, I remember when it came for us, or when they say it came to Nigeria, oh no, we don't need it in Nigeria. It's not part of our law. We should remove it from Nigeria. It's not. It's anti-Nigeria, whatever. They did not say it is in part of northern region or whatever. They say they don't want it in Nigeria at all, because they know that if it gets to Nigeria, it will always find itself to cripple down south and the whole of Nigeria, which is the pattern that they are rejecting. So they don't want it to start, not to talk of following the pattern. You get my point? So now, okay, it came to the north. I'm like, okay, everybody argue. Now, okay, after it's not something it's a Sharia, they should be cutting their hand. Nobody cares anymore. You see the pattern. Yeah. Now it's now in the northern part of Nigeria. Practice whatever. Nobody wants. Nigeria don't care anymore. Now somebody from nowhere, like what Perry was saying, it has been there before. If it has been there before, why is it now on the news that they want to establish it? Something that was already there. Why are you not establishing it again? You understand? I mean, there's something to read. And because of that, not mainly the fact that 2 weeks before that time in Lagos, I think in Lekki or whatever, there was one mosque. They put one banner, Jesus is not God, in front of one mosque. That almost caused chaos in Lagos, and they quickly removed it. You get my point? So something of this kind of pattern is what Nigerians are It's excessive too. They look at like there's trouble, somebody's finding trouble somewhere. You understand? So the country is volatile when it comes to religion. You understand? So people should be careful the way they do some certain things. They should think first. You understand? So now this will come and say they want to establish it. Oh, so you now left it in the north now. You are not trying to drag it down to the middle belt or to whatever. Before you know, you drag it down to Nigeria. Before you know, drag that to South and South. So it's the pattern people don't like because the way the way they handle it. You understand? The way they brandish it. That's what Nigerians are against. You understand? And for me, the Islamic way of doing this or Sharia, whatever, I like it in one thing, when it comes to moral values, because Nigeria is, when it comes to we are morally bankrupt in Nigeria. You understand? When it comes to ladies, women, young boys, youth, just in the name of Christianity, they just do what nonsense, no value, no moral anymore. You understand? Islam or Sharia will come because of their discipline. They want to put all those things together, but because of the sinister motive, maybe behind it politically or otherwise, or trying to force people to do what you may not like, that is where I believe people are rejecting it from. Otherwise, if you do Sharia law to Nigerian government leaders, I think Nigeria will like, this is what we want. Yeah. So, like I said, it's a practice. Like Sharia law may be for people like the Ganduje. It's a Sharia will not work for people like Ganduje. You understand? It will not work for people like other Islamic cleric or who Nigerian government who are criminals. But it will work for poor people. In that case, we don't want that kind of Sharia. We want a Sharia that works for people like Ganduje. That you thief dollar, they cut your hand. You see people coming out like,
because we have never seen Sharia apply to them before.
Exactly. So
it will be interesting to see whether they know how to corrupt the Sharia judges.
It's a practice, it's a pattern which it follows that Nigeria don't really like. That is just
if I may say also that go with our secular court system that we still don't believe in it, that they are also perfect in the way they do things. So in as much as we can say, okay, people like Ganduje, Sharia will not work for them. We have not seen Sharia work for them. Also, you can say in our court system in Nigeria that there is we see the same thing play out there. So it's about the society at large, and what you guys are saying is not necessarily so. Nobody is enforcing Sharia on anybody. It is a society where the people that live in that environment agree to it. So there's nothing like now they are bringing Sharia law to Sokoto or bringing it to Oyo State where it was not before. It's a way of life by the other people. And even like I said, if you go to Igbo land and your own village right now, there is a form of a judgment of how things are done there before the modern civilization.
See, let me just highlight this point to you.
You don't understand, Janaba.
No,
they
hold
say
on.
they are
Let me highlight something to
they
him.
are introducing it.
You are the ones that say I cannot pilot. Let me pilot. Janaba, I just wanted to highlight a point to you. It's not everything you are saying is actually correct to a point. Like in the north now, it's not that easy to opt out of Sharia if you're a Muslim. It's not that easy. But in the south, it's wishy-washy. As a matter of fact, most of the time in the south, by default, they just want to go to normal court before they even. It's later on they might. It's an afterthought. They might consider going to customary court. But in the north, where they practice Sharia will be default. And then to opt out is not that simple. You can opt out by the Nigerian constitution, but it's not that straightforward to opt out. In other words, it's more firmly instituted on the ground.
Give us an example where you've seen it happen where a non-Muslim could not opt out.
No, I did say in theory you can opt out, but because of the way it is implemented and by default it applies to Muslims, so it means that most Muslims will have to be subject to it. They will choose. Will have to choose to opt out.
Okay, so again, give us an example based on your statement where a non-Muslim was subject to it and it was hard, using your word, for them to opt out.
No, it is hard because of the definition.
Give us an example of where
I just gave you the definition.
I did not ask you for a definition. I said, give us an example where you've seen it happen where a non-Muslim could not opt out in a Sharia case.
Okay. One, I don't know that. I don't have that information.
So
right
you
now.
don't have that
They
information.
know they talk. You talk too much.
Hold
No,
on.
so you
No. Hold on.
hold on. So you've never,
Hold
you've
on.
never.
See,
No. Hold
Local
on.
B, let me pilot,
So
please.
you've never
Don't keep
seen.
doing
So
that.
you've never seen it happen. You do not have any precedent to that effect, but yet you kept making the statement that it'll be hard for a non-Muslim to opt out because it is firmly entrenched in northern law. So you don't have
No,
an
but you see
example.
now you must completely misstated what I said. I said by law it applies to Muslims by default. You see what I mean? It applies by default to them. So in other words, they will have to choose to opt out. But in the southern states, they will have to choose to opt in or opt out. It's more loose. You see the difference?
Show us. So are you saying, because what you implied, because we could say things all the time, and sometimes we don't have to say certain things, but we make implications of through our statements. So what you're saying is, if a Muslim will find it hard to opt out,
Yes,
how
because they have
then?
to choose to opt out.
All right. So how then will a non-Muslim even have a chance at all of opting out if a Muslim cannot opt out?
No, because it doesn't apply. That's the thing. That's exactly what I'm telling you. The Constitution says that it doesn't apply to them. If you're a non-Muslim, it doesn't apply to you. A non-Muslim has to opt in, but a Muslim has to opt out.
But that
So it
wasn't
applies to the Muslim by default.
Yeah. So that is the clarification I wanted you to make, because if just like the other day when we was talking about Sudan, and I was telling you, based on what you were saying, even the centric cast, if you remember, the centric cast was like, they're not killing Christians. And that was what me and you kept going round and round about, because you make certain pronouncements, and if a third party was listening, it would be like you saying Christians cannot opt out. Just like the other day, it sounded like you were saying Muslims were killing Christians, even though that was what Kenny was harping on. Central cast is here. So you have to be clear. And that clarification is what I wanted you to do. And gladfully, you've done it now.
Yes, I think it was in Senegal that I misunderstood. I never said Muslims were killing Christians. I said
your implication,
Arabs were killing black Muslims.
What you implied was that they were killing black Muslims.
And that's what they were doing.
They were killing non-Muslims, rather. And
that is what he taught, but that's not what I said.
Everybody would have thought based on what you were saying. Just like now,
I said the same thing to Perry. I repeated it twice just to emphasize the point. I said, in Sudan right now, you are here saying we should do Sharia. In Sudan right now, they are killing black people because they are not Arabs, not because they are not Muslims. They are Muslims, but they are killing them because they are not Arabs. They need to know the difference.
If you stated it like this, people like eccentric cast would have not been confused.
No, forefather have been saying this over the years, not just on that.
I've been saying
you have been saying that the Arab Muslim are killing the black Muslim, even though they are Muslim, but because they are black. And this is not the first time to give that to him. You have said that over.
Yeah, I've had this discussion with him 1,000 times. What I'm saying is that that day, just like today, the way he makes the statement will confuse people. So that was why eccentric cast and I guarantee most people in the audience was confused. So the way you stated it was that, remember we was talking about Sharia. So now you're talking about local P2. But in any event, not to drag it on, you've clarified it, and let's not beat around the bush. You've clarified it.
Yeah, forefathers.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Sharia law? Is that what we're doing right now?
You see the kind of attitude there. You can't give people what they want. You give them what they want. Look at you see all these enemies of progress. Did you see them show up? When they hear Sharia, they jump on. What are you going to do?
I want to understand what's going on. No, because all of a sudden, a lot of people just started showing up. This is
they don't want to talk about Fubara. They don't want to talk about Fubara now.
Like it or not.
This got bread and butter.
Janaba, so far as I heard Janaba was talking about, he said something as Perry wasn't saying. Perry wasn't talking about having a, local, having people, every custom, use their customer, like, something like their customary, laws. It was Rahman that was advocating for that. Perry was advocating for Islamic law, for Sharia. Perry is an extremist. He's I didn't even know. I found out later that he's Fulani. That's the agenda in Nigeria. That's the agenda.
Wait. What does his ethnic group have to do with?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm speaking. I'm talking that. I'm gonna come to that.
The ethnic group.
Fulanis, they are the ones in Nigeria who have no culture. They impose on people. They come to places.
They don't have generalization to say that.
It's not general. It's truth. Fulanis, they are the one imposing.
Where's your proof?
Please let me finish. Let me talk. Please let me talk.
Let him say.
Let me talk.
Okija, I think what he's trying to emphasize that you just said Fulanis don't have culture.
I'm talking about Fulanis in Nigeria. So about other Fulanis, maybe I don't know. Fulanis in Nigeria, from what we can see. From what we can see, I'm using the word losing, not talking about a culture could be, like anything you start doing over the years, it's probably a culture. Like, their nomadic life is a culture. But what I'm saying, in terms of, we can say that they had this religion before. We can say that they had this custom before, for instance, when you talk about Yorubas, we talk about, previous cultures they had, before the European came. You talk about the Igbos and other ethnic groups, the culture, the way they lived their life before, came. But we can't really, say much about, Fulanis. We know that they brought Islam to us.
Kija, let me interrupt you.
And it was let me finish. You can talk.
But they do have a culture. But
you understand what I'm saying in the sense of culture forming your religion. We can say, for instance, Yoruba culture, there's Yoruba culture attached to Yoruba religion. There's Igbo culture attached to Igbo religion. But we can't say that there's, a Fulani culture attached to Fulani religion.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying...
Yeah, no, you can come back. Just my statement, you can... So
no, but I'm saying they do have the culture attached.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. You can, when I finish, you can, I don't want to lose my channel. Yeah. Yeah, so like in the way it is in Nigeria, they are the ones who are prosecuting this, agenda, Fulanization of Nigeria. And Yorubas, they're not trying to Yorubanize Nigeria. Igbos are not trying to do that. Fulanis are the one trying to Fulanize Nigeria. So Fulanizing Nigeria means, it means one thing, Islam. That's the way it is, Islam. If Yorubas are trying to, Yorubanize anywhere, if they talk about their Yoruba culture and religion, they're not talking about religion. But these people are deep in the Quran, in the Atlantic Ocean. So they come with this. That's why they want to, from one state to another, for that they are in the Kwara, and then they want to transport it to for Nigerians to, have Islamic law. That's what they. So Perry is not wasn't coming in the angle of, let people, find out what works for them. He was just that, it's Sharia law that has to be done all over the place. That's the way I understand it.
Yeah, and you are correct, because he also said Sharia law is the way of his ancestors. I think he said Sharia law.
He said it's his family that they're even
his family. No, he said it. No, Janaba said it. He says Salah. He says it's an old African way of this. That is his ancestors, his forefathers.
So Okija, don't leave.
So sorry, and if you go back to that, his that interview, he says something. That we're he says something that that we are not controlling Kwara. He said something like that.
Oh yeah, they are controlling Kwara.
So he said that. So I just what I want you to understand. To him, it's about Islamization. It has nothing to do with what works for people.
That's
so
that's
why he believes that Islamization is good for Nigeria. That's what he believes.
Yeah, that's his belief. Yeah.
Well,
no,
he said it too. I can share it. He actually said it that he wants it all over Nigeria if he can get it.
No, he said the Sharia is a way of life, right?
Yes, he said Islam. Islam is the way of life. That's what he said.
No, Sharia.
John Aber, he did. This is what he said. He
said Sharia.
Yes, we know Islam. Can you guys hear me? We know Islam is the way of life.
So
anything anybody wants to do, let them do it. But my problem is
a time, please.
As a constitution and enforcing it in the
One
throats
at a time.
of other Nigerians. That's why I have a problem with
it's
it.
okay to let the people that know about Sharia speak about it. I mean, there's everybody, most people here would love to bash it. I understand.
We are discussing what Perry said.
So
remember.
of course, but at the same time, let people that have an insight into Sharia speak, because you guys are speaking from the outside looking in. So, Okija, first to you, I'd say go look at, I mean, I think Google will be a good source. If you think the Fulanis don't have a culture, just Google Gino or Guerno. You Google that, then it'll give you an insight into past Fulani traditions and what they believed in before the advent of Islam. They did have a culture before Islam, and they've lived in that region of West Africa the longest, more than anybody else, hundreds of thousands of years, maybe even millions. Some people assume. But back to the Perry issue. Perry, yes, people are right. Perry did advocate the stringent parts of Islamic law. That is what he actually advocated for all over the country, as opposed to Rahman, I wouldn't say, I don't even think Rahman is a Muslim. I think he just had a Muslim name or a Muslim background. No, I'm serious, John, but I don't think he is. Now to Local P and the rest. You people keep making the same mistake, okay? And I think it is imperative that you people understand that there are two parts of the Sharia law. Just like there are two parts of any law, there is the part that deals with the criminal aspects and its punishments and the consequences for violating those laws, which is probably what most people are scared of, the type that the North carries out. Then there is the civil aspect, which in fact, most of the Islamic world practices, which deals with civil issues such as finance, debts, personal disputes, divorce, marriage, inheritance, right? And most of the Islamic world actually practices this. In fact, this is also practiced or has been practiced in certain aspects of certain parts of Yoruba land. I don't know if I don't know why anybody would be opposed to that, especially if it gives rights to women, rights that they are inherent rights.
Try to keep it brief so that others can speak as can see. Now, Jefferson is going to be you next. Let him just finish. I'll come to you.
Just go ahead. He does. Jefferson does this all the time. Interrupt me all the time. Go ahead.
Okay, Jefferson, please go ahead.
Yeah, forefathers, been a while. Hi everyone.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Good evening.
Welcome back.
Yeah, no, it's not what I'm saying. Happy 2025 anyway. So wow. So speaking on this issue of practicing, making the Sharia or making it a national or whatever they want to do, it whatever they want to do. Me personally, I feel anything anybody wants to do is a thing of choice. Even the so-called Sharia law or Sharia norms, if you look very, very carefully, most people who are even practicing the faith and practicing all these things, majority of them in their heart of heart don't even want to really follow it to the letter. And they want to go to another part of the world where everything is free and everything is where people have freedom to at least to express themselves. But I don't want to go into that. I think it's left with the people who want to do that. But me, I feel if a law is on ground and you feel that okay, they need to put it because it is infringing other people's livelihood. Okay, fine. Nobody has I know one thing in this country, Nigeria, that there was never a time people have been stopped to believe or stand by whatever they want to stand by. There has never been a time. And if there's any time, let anybody come and object the objective right here, right now. Nobody has been objected to stand by whatever faith or follow whatever they want to do. even Nigeria is as a country, Nigeria is not even a Christian state. And even if someone wants to make it a Christian state, I will oppose it because we have other people who are not Christians. We have other people who obviously are not fully Muslims. We have other people who have people with different things, and we have a constitution that is generic, which is to say a constitution that accepts everybody by what they stand for and all of that. I don't want to go back into that because I feel that bringing the Sharia thing is kind of a crafty way, and I feel our fellow Muslim brothers are kind of selfish because they want to bring in that constitution, knowing fully well that other Christians who don't follow that is going to infringe on their rights. Infringe on other people's rights.
But Jefferson, are you aware that the law does not necessarily apply to Christians? It's only to Muslims.
It does not apply, but you know how Nigeria is. If time does not take, they can continually make people follow it.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to do recently, that it was blocked. I think they were trying to do something like that recently, and it was blocked.
Yeah, that's why I said it is in practice.
Okay, so again, forefather, you've made a statement that I will ask you to back up.
No. I'm trying to confirm it. I say I think. Stop asking me to back up everything. You cannot. You know what? It's a fair ask. Okay, let's let him talk while I get information. Okay.
Again, you have implied something that is inherently not true. Something that you cannot back up. So if you
hold on, let me get the information. You asked me. Let me get it.
In the Southwest, in the Southwest, they are trying to enforce Sharia law in its full-fledged this thing, and people of the Southwest are opposing it. People of the Southwest, they are rejecting it because they know it's not what they want. That's not what they want. Even as much that we have a Christian community and a Muslim community, most of them don't want that Sharia law to be fully implemented in the Southwest. If you don't know, this one is, I can give you this first-hand information.
Okay, good.
They are resisting it from all fronts.
Okay,
most importantly, the motive.
You have to back up when you make. This is why I said you have to be careful with words. Words are very powerful. So you cannot come and say you cannot come and say I think.
Sorry, I forgot your name. The motive. You can issue. Well, not the motive and the agenda.
That's what I'm saying.
One at a time.
He doesn't
not just the thing by itself.
Does that all the time. So all we're saying is when you make a statement, you're gonna have. You have no interest in the Southwest. I don't know why you're just shouting and screaming. So, anyways, if you make a statement, I wasn't referring to you. Don't worry about it. I wasn't referring. So, forefathers,
I'm very objective.
Yeah, you sound very objective. I don't know about you. You sound very objective. So, forefathers, when you make a statement, you're going to have to be able to back it up, especially knowing that you're fond of making statements.
Okay, stop now.
No, I can't stop.
Are you seeing this now? Are you seeing this, Mr. Evidence? Now you are seeing the report. This is 25th of October 2024. Reps reject bill seeking Islamic law expansion. So if you go down here, you're going to read that they are trying to change a term that is supposed to be personal to just include everybody or something like that. So that is what they rejected.
Was that for the Southwest? You see, you people started off with the Southwest.
It doesn't matter. They're expanding it.
It doesn't have to be Southwest. It doesn't have to be Southwest.
A large population of Muslims in the Southwest. Like I think roughly 40% of the Muslims in the Southwest are Muslims, and they don't want it. Most of them don't want it.
Yeah, you're still sounding very objective. Forefathers, leave it on. So, oh my God,
listen, I do my heart for the people of the Southwest. In terms of religion, they are very, very tolerant. but they don't allow the religion to
put it back
Let's
up.
allow other people to speak. Let's allow other people to speak. Hold on.
Can I say something? All this
Thank you.
half of Turkey and Europe and Brother Jefferson. Can somebody say something?
Exactly. Let's allow other people to speak, please.
It's just 2 minutes now. Other people were talking since. Sorry about Mr. Ike, sorry about that. I will soon leave self. Sorry, I just wanted to, I heard this topic. I said make I put back because people they don't seem to understand this
up so we can read it.
Especially in the world we are today.
This guy
all right,
just
who's next?
Let me talking about pharaohs. Like, put that thing back up. Let's read it.
Let me get this page is very annoying actually.
Let me say something because if you can allow me, let me say something. I'm still working in the office. If you can allow me say something, I give
welcome, Oga Ike. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening from here and Happy New Year to every one of us. It's a great thing that all of us are alive to see 2025. That is the first blessing of the year, that we all have life. There are so many of us who wished to see this day, but are no more with us. So it's a blessing that I will be able to see all of us again this year. You weren't just like yesterday, but we are talking about 2025. 2024 has gone. So listen, my own opinion, I'm speaking about my opinion. Those who are the proponent of Islamic law, Sharia law in Nigeria, and those who are the promoters of Sharia law in Nigeria. I want you to know that Nigeria is not an Islamic country. It's not a Christian country. We are free to worship whatever we want. And the people that are trying to Islamize Nigeria, like the last speaker said, the Fulanis are not trying to. They're trying to Islamize Nigeria. They have been trying it for how many years? They tell us we are not a member of IOC, but officially, Nigeria is a member of IOC. Is it Islamic International Islamic Organization?
Islamic countries.
They keep telling us we are not a member, but officially we are a member. So what is it? They are trying to impose a particular religion
without our consent. They just
that's what I'm saying.
Themselves. Sorry, sir.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm coming from. So the proponent of Sharia law in Nigeria should be very careful. Everybody should be free to worship whatever God you want to worship. I'm a Christian. And when I preach the gospel, I do not condemn any other faith that you worship. You're free to make your choice what you have decided to call your God, right? So, but trying to make me that I should worship what you believe, what you want me to worship, I think you're not trying to be honest to yourself as Nigerians. So, somebody who is saying that, I want to talk about Sudan. Anybody here who is denying that the black Muslims in Sudan are not being killed, you're not just trying to be honest to yourself. Because the so-called white people in the Arab country don't see the black people as Muslims. They don't regard them as Muslims. Even in Algeria, the black Algerian Muslims are being killed. They don't see them as Muslims. Let me finish. I don't need your opinion. When I finish, you come in. Don't try to correct me or direct me. I don't need your direction. Let me finish my point.
Allow him to finish.
Just allow me finish my point.
Then you have your chance to correct.
I don't want you to come and preach to me about that. And let me finish what I'm saying.
Have your chance. You have your chance.
You can reboot what I said. I'm not interested. We're only here to speak and learn, but there are certain things we should be sensitive of. If you tell me anybody that is in this among us here that says that he doesn't know that in Sudan, the black Muslims in Sudan are being killed, or in Algeria, that they don't know that the black people that call themselves Muslims are being killed, you are not just being honest to yourself. We most of us travel, we know. I am a traveler, my friend. So stop speaking as if we are coming from somewhere else. Let me finish.
No one is making that
argument.
You
can't come here and lie. Nobody made that argument. You can't come here and make false statements.
Can you allow him to speak? It's not fair. It's not fair that you just keep interrupting people.
A false statement
No. It's not fair. That's the whole point of you having your own chance to rebut whatever he has said.
That is called a rebuttal. You don't make the person.
No, you can't just stop him when he's talking. then it will be all noisy. If everybody starts doing the same thing as you are doing,
all
it
right,
will be all rowdy.
I'm going to learn, and I'm going to come in and start lying too, and nobody can cut me off.
You can do that. You can do that, and people will challenge you after you finish speaking.
Let's go. Come on.
All right. Please, Oga Ike, please go ahead.
The people that are preaching and the proponent of Sharia law, I think they should start with the governors in the north. They start cutting their legs and their hands first. The proponent of the Sharia law, the Gandujes, the former Senate president of Nigeria, the vice president, the president, the vice president, and all the ministers and all the senators that have been stealing, they should start cutting their legs and their feet. And all the people that are using, trying to brainwash people about, Sharia law. But they are the people who are, even though there is Sharia law in the north, they are the breakers of the Sharia law. And the law has not caught up with them. So what are we talking about? The Sharia law is only meant for the people that they used to go and cause riot. But they themselves, who are proponents of this Sharia law, they break it every second. Because the people that they rule, they steal the property and the money of their state. And nobody is saying anything. Is it not the same Sharia law? So if the Sharia is good, right? If the Sharia if it is good for everybody, we start from Governor of Kano State, at least good Ganduje. First of all, we cut his hand, his 2 hands and his 2 legs, right? So that we know that yes, we want to practice Sharia. And every other place where we know that these people that are proponent of Sharia law, they are the people that are architect of the problem that Nigeria has found themselves. They are the people who have put Nigeria in a ditch that everybody is suffering today. I think we start from them, cutting off their heads and their hands. And when we see that those things is happening, then we will be able to say, okay, it is good because it is good for everybody. But now you're making a law that is only for the common man, the people who doesn't have somebody to speak for them. That is something you're trying to make us to believe that is the right thing for Nigeria. It's not the right thing. Well, Nigeria is a secular country, right? Like my brother Jefferson said that nobody is going to say Nigeria is a Christian country. No, there are people who are not Christian. There are people who are not Muslim. You have the Hindus. You have the traditionalists. You have so many people. As a Christian, people don't call people a member of Celestial Church. They don't even call them Christian. But they're Christians, right? It all depends whatever you believe, whatever you want to worship. So I am not a proponent of people who are trying to tell me what I have to worship, right? It's my personal choice. It's my personal relationship with my God. The same way I will want you to have your freedom to worship whatever you want to worship. The same way you should allow your fellow brother or sister to worship whatever they want to worship, right? Or your state, wherever the problem started with. Nobody has ever known Oyo State as a Sharia state or as a Muslim state. There are Christians in Oyo State. There are non-Christians in Oyo State. There are people who don't believe in God that is in Oyo State. You have what did they call them? Whatever they call them. You have so many people that believe in different things. So Nigeria is a country where we should avoid this because this is what the politicians are using. This is this distraction. The government of the day has failed. They just want to put one thing and Nigerians will carry it up and will continue to discuss something that has nothing that is going to act anything in the life of every hungry Nigerian in the street. Everything they do is politically motivated to cause distraction. You see, we have been talking about Sharia since last year, ending of last year, and today, first week of January, the second week of January, we are talking about Sharia. What has Sharia got to do with Nigerians that are hungry in the street? I raise my case.
Thank you. Let me add something to this. I think what I've noticed is that with this law, let me explain this so I speak the truth. Don't talk yet. Let me just share it with you. So they wanted to remove the term personal out of
You're
the
going to explain the law to me because you have a law background.
I'm trying to talk about in terms of the Nigerian constitution. Can you calm down? I'm trying to talk about in terms of the Nigerian constitution, which was personal. But they already expanded it beyond that. The original Nigerian constitution said it should be in terms of personal law, which is like, family law, all those type of related issues. That's what the constitution was meant originally to apply to. But they expanded it into criminal law. Now they want to even remove the word personal from it so that it will apply to commercial, like banking and all those things, basically expanding the whole thing. And this goes back to the initial statement that was made, that there is an expansive aspect of this that needs to be curtailed. Otherwise, Nigeria will become you will have one side that is just being run like a totally different country completely.
Why? Let me ask you a
totally
question.
different rules apply.
Why do you think, for example, they would want, and that is just, I'm just perusing in a hurry, the article. Well, why would you think
when you're done, can you give me a little bit of your time so I can say something about this? Go ahead.
No problem. So why would you think the Muslims would want Islamic law governing the financial aspects of their life?
I don't know why they would want that. If they want that, it's not
Okay,
my business. They are still in the context of the Nigerian state.
So one aspect would be the term usury. So one aspect would be the fact that under the Western style Christian-backed laws that most of the financial world follows, interest, exorbitant interest, eye-gouging interest are charged on loans, whereas it is against Islamic law to charge interest on any loan. So you borrow $1, you pay back $1. You don't borrow $1 and pay back $40 or end up homeless trying to pay back that dollar. So in terms of things like that, and this is why I started off by telling you guys are still making a mistake and you misrepresenting what these people want. They are asking for more control in the civil aspects of their lives. I mentioned divorce, for example, where it is harder for a woman to get divorced under the laws that we presently have in Nigeria, or in fact in most parts of the Western world, but it is easier for a woman to get a divorce under Islamic law. Again, something like inheritance. If you look at customary laws or even traditions in a place like Southeast Nigeria, women cannot inherit their father's property and they cannot inherit properties of their husbands as widows, as opposed to Islamic law, where these things are specifically spelled out. Women are not subjugated like they are in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Women are not abused in that manner in the southeastern parts of Nigeria. Under Islamic law,
Can you try to keep it brief?
Under Islamic law, women have the right of inheritance of their father's property.
This is not an Islamic sermon. Try to keep it brief.
Let me finish. When you tell other people to not finish when they're not making
because
sense.
Because it's not only you now. You know you have already had your say. Other people have not had their say.
I am not talking for talking's sake. I am talking so people can understand.
No, you can give one example.
So
then you can say and many more.
I cannot give one example. I can give 1,000 examples insofar as I am making sense. So long as I am making sense and it is a teachable moment, then I think it is imperative for people to listen. This is the problem.
No, it's not imperative for people to listen to you
They don't have to. No, it is imperative that they
listen. There are some of us who haven't spoken. We've been waiting and listening.
You have to be considerate of other people. You can't do this because you're talking about your religion. Then nobody else can have this.
How do you know it's my religion? At what point did I?
Because you're talking as if it's yours.
So no, don't play these little games that you always play. Again, I will say, just like women are being subjugated in southeastern Nigeria, where the women have no rights of inheritance. You can hate it as much as you want. This is the fact. In southeastern Nigeria, women do not have the right of inheritance. They do not have a right to inherit property.
Now you're talking about other people's religion.
From their father. Stop playing Captain Saber. Everybody knows you don't like Igbo. So let me finish.
No, talk your own and let other people speak.
Giving an example.
Okay, you've got 30 seconds. Whatever happens, 30 seconds that you'll be cut off.
You're not going to get in their good books. They know you don't like them.
30 seconds.
We know you don't like Igbo. So stop pretending now. Okay. So again, it ends with they have a right to inheritance. They have a right to not charging loans on their finances, and this is what they want to go against. So you cannot say, well, they want more jurisdiction over their own finances or inheritance or divorce, and you say these are wrong. It is not wrong. I don't see where the problem lies there.
Some people, until the law expands and consumes Nigeria, they will always make excuse for it. The point is that the rules were stipulated in the constitution in a specific way. When you keep trying to change that because you have you think other people in the West don't want to have.
We're not talking about.
Can I finish what I'm saying, please? The people allow you to speak. Can I finish speaking? Do you think other people in other countries don't like to have Christian religion? You think they don't like it in Italy or in France or in the UK? They want to have. Can you let me talk, please? Can you just let me finish? They choose to remain in a secular state because that is the rules that their constitution allows for. Nigerian constitution said this is what it's supposed to be. Don't keep trying to expand it because it's going to lead to problems.
Can you
because
give me 10 seconds?
That will not allow it. There are people that will not allow it and that will feel very uncomfortable when they keep expanding and having a creep within the rules. And that is something that you have to curtail. And I don't know why some people pretend as if they don't see it, because this stuff is going to cause problems in the country.
But
you do want problem in Nigeria.
There are people here waiting to contribute, and they have not spoken one word.
Let me speak on this, please.
I think it's Tony's. Let Tony speak, and then I'll come back to you. After Tony DMO, then I come back to.
Give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
No. You've had enough time. Sorry.
I'm still here. I didn't go.
Please. Yeah, Tony, please go ahead.
Greetings, everybody, and Happy New Year to everybody on the platform and those listening.
Happy New Year to you too.
Yes, it's embarrassing to me to see that we are still trying to discuss this issue of Sharia and no Sharia, because it's something that like I said, this is something we've dealt with before, and I came in because I thought we were going to discuss something more interesting and something that's going to help our country. We can discuss Sharia from now till thy kingdom come, and nothing is going to come out of it. First, the constitution. I don't know if we're losing sight of the definition of secularism. If you say your constitution is secular, that means, from my little understanding, that you're running a constitution that does not recognize any religion as a state religion. So that said, this whole issue and the fact that this issue was brought before the House and it was shut down, these are representatives of the people, tells you that this is not a popular thing with Nigerians. But to put that aside, I think there's a contradiction in.
Sorry. Let me just add something quickly. Before people say Southern politicians don't do anything, it was mostly Southern politicians that opposed this. To tell you that Southern politicians, they are not just completely empty, sitting there not doing anything. They actually pulled this thing down. They said the Northern politicians were sympathetic to it.
You can't credit them because they say they are doing something. They are doing something. They're not doing
At least they are standing for something.
No, they're not standing for anything. That's bullshit.
Can I finish, please?
Fight them. They don't want the hand to be cut. That's why.
Can I finish, please? Well, it's not that they don't want the hands to be cut. If hands are going to be cut, it will be everybody. But you see, the truth is that we have elevated the issue of religion or faith above every other thing that we should be discussing that will help advance development in our country. And you can see this is part of the reasons why we take 2 steps forward and then take 3 steps backwards. Nigeria is a multi-religious and multi-ethnic country. That's what Nigeria is. You cannot say it's secular and yet you favor one religion or some religions and you don't favor the others. I mean, it's like the people who are traditionalists going to the House or the Senate saying, we now want our traditional way of resolving conflict to be elevated to become a state. These are private things. Sharia used to be something that is private and is allowed to that extent that you can, deal with your issues, use Sharia law to settle issues that relate to marriage, family laws, and divorce and stuff like that. The moment there was an attempt to elevate it beyond what was allowed locally, and it didn't cause conflict, didn't cause tension. And that's why we're having all this talk, here and there and so on and so forth. And we can continue, it's not going to, because it's a very, very emotional thing. Now, my take really is that, it just shows me that this country has a lot to do in terms of unity, in terms of coming together, to grapple with the various problems and challenges that we have today. I want to say, for instance, people are, because of some of the challenges that we have, some people are talking about secession, but I make bold to say that we already have secession. It's just that it hasn't been broken into countries. With the kind of discussion that we're having now, if you look at the elite, you see that they have already seceded from Nigeria. Take a place like Banana Island. As an ordinary Nigerian, to get in there is a problem. You can't get in there. It's a separate and different entity, apart from the fact that it's far, far separated from, mainland Lagos. To get there is a problem. They have their own schools. They have their own light. It doesn't feel. So they don't feel what you feel, what the common man feels in terms of electricity. They go to their own schools. So when people go on strike, schools go on strike, their children don't go on strike. They enjoy whatever. They have their own market. They don't use the roads that you use. I mean, a lot of them have helicopters. Take them to where they are going, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So they are totally cut out from what is happening in Nigeria. They send their children abroad. So they don't feel what you feel when you're talking about, lecturers are routing, or when the children finish, they already have employment. They don't need to take exams to take a job in CBN or in NNPC and so on and so forth. So there's already a country within Nigeria, that is already been carved out, just that you don't have territories. So when we are talking about things like Sharia and so on and so forth, for me, it's also an indication of how low we have sunk in terms of the way we relate to the country called Nigeria. So I think we have better things to discuss than talking about this. I thought Forefathers was going to look at how we have done in 2024 and, what the outlook for 2025 is going to be, or to interrogate some of the things that the economist who came in the program before, said, and see, what areas, what things that he has said that we think, we can articulate and push forward, and then the areas where we're lacking, and then we can provide solutions. Let me just stop there so other people could contribute.
Yeah, I think that is a fair assessment. I did try to, some of the panelists, like Aestheticals, thought it was a good idea, but Janaba thought it wasn't. That why go through, because it makes sense for us to go through an interview like that. Normally, when there is an interview, after the interview, we go through what the interviewee has said. We analyze it, but we didn't do that in this case. So I take your point on that. And especially in terms of the outlook for the country in the coming this year, I think we did that yesterday. You did a 7-hour session on that, on the outlook for Nigeria. We could touch on that. We have about let me see how many minutes we've got. We've got about 45 minutes to go. So I'm not sure we would do him justice if we do that today. Maybe tomorrow we can have it as the session where we go through the interview and then dissect everything that has been said there and touch on the outlook for the year in 2025 as a closing out for the weekend. So hopefully that will suffice. for now. But now that we are in the middle of a Sharia, what for a better word? I don't know if you said the word because it's going to be a problem either way. DMO, thank you for joining us. What do you make of the conversation so far?
Can you hear me, forefathers?
Loud and clear, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and Happy New Year again. I suppose the forefathers, you may recall that I was here on the New Year Day, and I asked kind of a question and all that. But thank you that everybody is going step by step. I suppose the last speaker, I share your sentiment. I suppose have your say. So what you said about why we're talking about Sharia. I mean, an archaic law that is in the 7th century. You know, Nigeria is talking about moving forward. And if we say we're a secular country, it's supposed to be secular, you know. But those people who call themselves Christians, you will recall that some people, they will say that my people lack knowledge for lack, well, my people perish for lack of knowledge. That's Hosea 4:6, you know. I need to really say this, and I mean no harm to anybody. People should be very careful when you're dealing with Muslims. Number one is there is a lot of things about manifestation. When you want to go into the core of the things, you know, you go and read their Quran, read their tafsir, read their hadiths, you get your own knowledge, and when you challenge them, they manifest. And I'm not surprised that this is happening. And that's what they call the takia. They can lie or, you know, obfuscate anything about their religion, you know. And I find it quite laughable that people who call themselves black people, especially men, I believe we are all men here, black men, will come and embrace an Arabic religion. I'm not putting it down, but I suppose I will remind any Muslim, a Nigerian Muslim, to go to the Quran chapter 4, chapter 14, verse 4. He said, God will not reveal anything except in the language of their people to make it clear. And some further down in the Quran, he says that this is an Arabic language. It is revealed. These surahs were revealed in Arabic language to make it clear for people. And I believe Arabic language is not that commonly spoken in the world, not to talk of Nigerians who will say they memorize the Quran. But again, I don't mind.
Forefathers, do you realize you're a hypocrite now?
Again, you're manifesting half in Europe. I understand. Manifest. It's okay. I've dealt with. It's okay. You can manifest. But again, they will say to you, "Oh, Quran, Sharia is not for Christians." Again, that's takia. That's a big lie.
Describe what is what is takia?
That's a big lie. Takia is when you lie, when you want to obfuscate, when you obfuscate your religion. You know, when you feel you're under threat. To obfuscate it. Do you want me to teach you? Do you want me to teach your religion? Because I remember, if I recall, the last time.
Done. When he's done, you
last time you said to me that you're not a scholar.
You're easy to jump in.
So listen to me. If you're not a scholar, just listen. You don't know anything about Islam. Just listen.
I don't know
okay?
anything about Islam.
So listen. So they'll say to you that, well, we are going to be practicing the civil part of the Sharia and not the criminal. And part of the civil, which I heard here, is marriage. Go to Quran chapter 65, verse 4. 65, verse 4. There are 3 people you can divorce. They call it the Ikda. Before you divorce person, there's Ikda, which is called the waiting period.
What's this guy talking about?
3 kinds of women you can wait for. Number one, those who are in the menopause. Secondly, women who are pregnant. The third part is very young people. Narrated by Aisha, the Prophet married me when I was 6. and consummated
So
the marriage when I was 9. So
forefathers.
now again, you can manifest all you want. Yeah, I know you're uncomfortable about it, but that's your religion, and
No,
you don't know anything about Islam. And I will tell you about Islam. Okay, if you don't know anything, I will tell you about Islam.
No, because what you're
Okay,
saying is just
so
absolute
again,
rubbish.
what I'm saying to
All
you,
you're saying is
No,
lies.
Sharia has no place.
please round up so
Sharia
that
has no place
I think
in
it's only fair
Nigeria.
that
Nigeria is a secular country. The fact that we are not implementing the constitution of Nigeria doesn't mean that it shouldn't be implemented. So we should know more. Okay, so my people perish for lack of knowledge. Many people are really like, okay, it's not this, it's not that. That's not true. Go and study this religion they are trying to implement. They're trying to override. Islam was shared by the sword. You cannot. Sharia is a 7th century law. It has no place in 2025. And that's what I can say. And that's it.
Right. So isn't it funny how when they attack and degrade these people, they degrade Muslims, they say, you're a hypocrite, forefathers. And I'm glad, and I know.
I don't see what is degrading if somebody is actually
you're
calling somebody. Okay, now explain to me what is degrading. Where did degrading happen?
You know what you're done?
If you
allow them finish, then you rebuttal and give them the jab back.
Okay.
Because if you interrupt them, it makes it rowdy, so to speak.
All right.
That's why I fought you a little bit.
Look at Pete, why I called it out. Forefathers is a bloody hypocrite. And you know why I said he's a bloody hypocrite.
All these kind of insults, it's not helping.
You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Let me tell you why you're a hypocrite. Okay. So if one person is saying, he has every right to say what he wants to say. And if it was like, say, an intellectual discussion, for example, where people weren't just bigots and they weren't just hard-headed and they didn't have a motive, this could actually be a teachable moment. But because a lot of people come on here with their bias already, you would think I was on the side of Dr. Perry, for example. You know, even though we were on the opposite side, telling them we were on opposite sides, except for whoever wants to be blind or whoever wants to be ignorant. Me and Rahman were actually on one side, and Dr. Perry was on another side. If anything, I was probably in the middle, explain, because we all knew the tenets of that faith. Now, we have an individual like this demo come on, because like when I wanted to speak, you will stop me. Oh, this is not right. You're talking about them, even if what I was saying was
you have not spoken to the issue so far.
Can I finish?
You don't have infinite time. I will take it from you.
Defender of the universe, can I finish? So this
you
is
don't have infinite time.
Stop now. Stop. Just let him speak now.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Allow me to moderate. Allow me to moderate because he's going on too long.
No, I'm not going on too long.
How many seconds are you stop now?
If this guy came on, he came on.
You are not the one moderating, local. Don't do that.
Hold on, see. I'm still timing him too. I want you to be fair. I'm still timing him too.
Okay, what is your time for it?
Did you
give speaking up to the time of GMO?
Because others have to speak.
It is not about.
Allow me to moderate. Others have to speak too. I wanted to come to you. I want to go to Kija. Kija has to say.
I wanted to give him the time you gave DMO to speak. Simple, just that.
No, because it's not his time.
And I don't even need that much time.
It's not his time to speak.
He does. He keeps cutting me off when you're making.
Allow me to listen. It's not his time. I'm giving him a courtesy to just allow him to respond to DMO so that Akija and you can speak.
And it is a very valid courtesy, and it is common sense when you have majority.
And don't abuse it.
It is. Well, also I had very choice words for you, but I'm just going to be quiet. So it'll be imperative, especially when you have people that are antagonizing a faith. Now, he made a lot of wrong pronouncements. And it makes no sense to even correct him. The same person that's on here talking about takia, talking about manif, all these dumb terms that non-adherents of the faith will just bring up just to pretend like they know. Then you see him, he says, the religion, it's Arabic. And if you don't understand Arabic, you cannot speak on it. But in the same vein, he talks about how Quran verse 6, there's this, and I did not answer him the last time. Well, I would have gladly answered you if you can speak it in Arabic. You can't. So what are you doing? You're taking tropes from all these anti-Islamists. This is why Nigeria is not going anywhere. Nigeria is not going to go anywhere because if you have individuals like this that are bigots, that are hypocrites, that will not go check the facts on the subject they want to pretend like they understand, then it's not going anywhere. He just made a lot of wrong pronouncements, and this is why I wanted to check him and say, if you have a back and forth with someone that says something that is obviously a lie, it'll help. But not saying, oh, well, just let them speak and then it'll be okay. And then you can come back. And that's why I take notes. He mentioned Quran 14:9. He mentioned Takia. He mentioned Tashfir. He mentioned just making up words. Explain them to us. So if you want to give me in 15 seconds, I guarantee you, if I wrote something in Arabic right now, I guarantee he does not even understand anything.
Time is up now. I'm gonna do you another courtesy.
No, don't do me a courtesy. I'm
gonna do another courtesy.
Now,
DMO, no, because I now we won't need to pin things to the ground because I'm fed up.
We're not pinning anything to the ground. You're already one side.
DMO, give us one of your bullet line statement and let him confirm whether it's true or not.
Okay. Quran, chapter 14, verse 4.
What does it
Quran,
say?
chapter 65, verse 4.
No, just one.
14, verse 4.
What does it say?
The revelation will be revealed. Okay, but we will not send a prophet except in the language of the people of his people. To make the revelation clear.
Hold on. Okay, so in other words, he's saying that it is the language of the people. So what does it mean? Did he get it wrong?
No. He just made a statement and let me counter it. Please don't play
Very
this
well.
game. So you just said this is what I was calling you out on. This is why I say you are a pretender and a liar, and I have no regrets calling you that. You just gave us a sentence saying we will not reveal this in the language of the people. Can you repeat that to us in Arabic?
Do you understand Arabic?
Yes, very well. Can you repeat it to us in Arabic?
Okay. Can you say that in Arabic?
No, can you give it to us?
Hold on. See, solving this problem is easy.
There you go.
Why should he be able to do that?
There you go.
Hold on. I don't understand. How is he supposed to be able to do that in Arabic? Isn't that the whole point?
No. Speak the truth. Listen, if DMO have a verse portraying what he said in English, read it in English, interpret it to your best of knowledge, then like allow I speak the truth to rebut that. Simple.
No. Listen, this is what he's trying to do. Okay, let me finish. He's trying to tell you that the Arabs are putting themselves up in superiority because I was listening to everything he said, how we don't speak Arabic, how Africans should not speak Arabic because they place themselves in a place of the Arabs place themselves in a position of superiority. Now, if you're going to come on here and tell us that this was revealed, which it was in Arabic, so that means all the adherents will read Arabic, but you're telling us in English that this is what it says. Well, that is not believable. Tell us in Arabic what that verse said. And my point of saying that is I know for a fact you don't speak Arabic because everything else you said was rubbish and a lie. So you're picking out tropes.
But you are not giving us what it actually said.
You see what I'm saying.
You are supposed to be educating us and telling us what it actually said.
I speak the truth. The verse that you quoted in Quran in English, right? If you are saying the verse was written in Arabic and he misinterpreted that verse in English, then you have a point.
No, I didn't say.
Hold on. The text is reading. The text as is reading from is written in English, right? It quoted the verse and in English.
How can you go quote an Arabic verse in English? Look, P, that's not my point.
Oh, okay. So are you telling me it's not reading for me an English text?
No,
is that what you're saying?
Listen. Before you start defending anything, okay?
No, not defending. I'm just asking. I want to be sure.
Wait, Local P. I know you're not defending it. Good. And I'll show you why you're defending it now. Tell me in English, what is the verse he quoted that we're going back and forth on?
In English?
Yes.
In English, for me, what I understood, right?
No. What was the quote he made?
You're still not getting my point. Hold on now. Let me finish. He said in Quran chapter this verse, blah, 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 whatever I said, right? He read what he read.
Oh, Local P again.
Okay. So my question is
Local P. Forefathers, please let me go back and forth with this, please. Again. You say you're not defending it, right? You have all these words, you're not defending it. This is why I say you guys don't listen, you just like to talk. What is the verse? Hold on. What is the verse he quoted? That
now, listen, fine. I understand your question 100%. Now let me respond now, right? From understanding, he quoted a chapter and a verse in the Quran.
That said what?
No, I don't need to know. I don't need to remember.
What do you mean you don't need to know?
Hold on, wait, let me finish. Let me tell you my point I was arguing, so we'll be on the same page, right? He quoted a verse and a chapter, and he read it out. My belief is that he has it on his front, maybe on the system, internet, whatever, right? He put that from the internet and he read it in English. It's written in English word. That's what he read. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Explanation does not
matter. That is my argument. If you are telling me
something that you don't even understand
what we're listen to me now. Let me take my argument first. If you are telling me what is read was written in Arabic and he translated it in English to tell us here, then you are correct that he's reading from an Arabic text, not an English text or translated.
There's no way in the first. Local P, just calm down. Calm down. I don't know.
I'm telling my argument first.
Local P, just calm down.
Good.
There's no way the Quran will even come in English in the first place.
Fine.
Okay, wait. Just calm down. Calm down. Now, you are arguing and basically having a position.
Believing is reading from English text. Believing. Good.
Look at Pete. It's okay for you guys to listen. You don't always have to. Oh my God, you're doing it again. You don't always have to have an answer before the person talks. If you're defending something, what are you defending? Quote what he said.
Prophet, this thing is becoming a monologue. I mean, can we shift the topic and do something else?
See my English. I'm not defending what he said, what he read. My own take is this, right?
You guys have
if he's reading an English text, if he's reading an English text from the Quran, that is what it is. If you are saying what he's reading is not written in English, he's only translating from Arabic. Then you are correct. Then you can challenge him to read it in Arabic and translate it.
So this is.
So I believe he's reading in an English text. That's my argument.
We have 2 minutes. We've heard you. So
that means we're arguing two different things.
So so this is my point. Okay, you guys should always try to listen, because when people make pronouncements, I listen, and this is why a lot of people will have a problem with me on this panel, because I will take your own words and I'll ask you questions based on your own words if I know for a fact that you're saying rubbish, not you personally. This is why I asked him. That nonsense, all the nonsense that he's been quoting, that is why it sounded good to you, because you don't understand what he was doing. That's why you're saying, you finally realize, like, oh, that's true. I don't even know what he said, because everything.
No.
Yes. Because you couldn't quote it. I asked you 1,000 times. You couldn't quote it. So the bottom line is everything he's saying is rubbish, complete bunkum, nonsense.
If you are saying that he's reading from an Arabic text.
So this is why I asked him, right? If you say, because you're criticizing the superior, this is what he was trying to say, the Arabs think they're superior or whatever. So if it's in the Quran, you claim you almost took your shahada, almost. They're either usually former Muslims or almost took their shahada or whatever. If you quote something from the Quran, right? You want to pretend like you know about the Quran. You want to pretend like you read Arabic. Quote it to us in Arabic. And that same language that you said, they said, because you wrote it, and I wrote it here. You said Arabic language was made to be revealed by the prophet in the language of the Quran 14:9, 65:4. You could read it to us in Arabic. You can't, because everything you're saying is nonsense. So stop coming on here.
You said that the Quran can never be
You want
in
to
English.
pretend. You want to pretend like you know
Quran
what you're
is in
talking
Arabic.
about, but then you want to come and you.
I also said the
Quran
Time is up. Time's up. We've had enough time with this.
No, if the Quran is reading from, is it in English?
Let's bring
No, it's written
other,
in Arabic,
I'm
and
sorry,
they don't
let's
read
bring other
Arabic,
people
but they
in.
just talk nonsense.
Okija, thank you for joining us. Just one question we were able to ask, and even that was not clear. That said, about the language, it says that the language was revealed to Muhammad in Arabic language so that the locals can understand it. It doesn't necessarily mean that the message itself is only for Arabic people. So, but it kept using the term, the language is clear, So when if somebody that is not Arabic reads it, they might insinuate that, oh, the Arabic language is special because of it. And in terms of like when they said that the angels spoke to some prophets, that they also specifically addressed the fact that he spoke in Arabic language. Those type of thing, like in the Bible, when angel comes to speak to Mary, they don't say, "Oh, he spoke in Aramaic language or Jewish language."
They actually did.
No, they didn't say that. They didn't say that.
Because
I grew up with it, so I know.
I grew up with it too, and I know.
I'm going to check the
It
Bible.
wasn't specified.
It wasn't specified. I keep telling you, it wasn't specified. You are not listening.
Do you think the angel spoke to Mary in German or French?
No, but it wasn't specified.
It
That's
wasn't
my point.
specified. Quran specified Arabic.
How do you think?
Okay, fine. Well, I will confirm that. Then, if I get the evidence, I will provide it to you. You think I don't know?
Mary in Igbo or
no, I speak the truth. You are not understanding. See, if somebody says, so even if it is spoken in that Aramaic language, but it wasn't specified, just say the angel spoke to Mary and told Mary this message. That's it.
Forefather, this is common sense, and I think it is very lacking on here. If someone that does not speak Igbo, that does not speak Arabic, that does not speak Japanese, said an angel came to me and spoke to me, what language do you think the angel?
How do you know it's not Greek? How do you know it's not Hebrew? How do you know it's not Arabic?
Hold on. You see, I think you are not. Now you are getting to the point. Even if that angel spoke their language, if the person just said the angel spoke to them, the person didn't need to take the effort to emphasize their own language.
I'm sorry to say, Forefather, you have a very big comprehension issue.
Okay, now I answered you. You talk about comprehension issue. It's all right.
If there is something called implication, okay? So just like you were saying something about the Sudanese Arabs and the Sudanese Black Muslims that confused people like eccentric and made them think you were talking about Christians, there's something called implication in language. So if you can imply something without directly saying it, what part of that couldn't you comprehend?
It means that it wasn't said. And people would not, they would just focus on the universal message that angels spoke to that person. But when you bring the language into it, you are linking that situation to that language.
What language?
Can you move on? Can you move on? You don't seem to understand what marketing is. You don't seem to understand what marketing truly is. Because if you understand marketing, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. I don't understand
marketing.
You don't have a clue.
How many businesses?
Because that is what marketing is. When somebody keeps bringing their own culture into a universal message, that tells you something.
I don't understand.
Can we move on, please?
How many businesses?
Can we move on? You don't seem to understand that. Please.
I don't. How many businesses?
That is why you concede soft power. You don't even have a clue you are doing it.
How many businesses do you run? Do people just come on here and just run your mouth all the time?
Can you let me have other people speak? Okay, thank you for joining us. There was a bit of a noise in your background, so I don't know what was happening. Please go ahead, Okija. Sorry about all the delays.
Sorry, you said noise?
Yeah, there was noise, but it's okay now. It's perfect now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What's his name? What's his name today? Turkey. Let me just. I don't want to go all those length. Just Turkey. He said made mention of Igbo culture. Southeast. Women don't inherit properties. I think that's. I mean, I'm happy he brought up this question. And women, in the olden days, when people were before the white men came, when people were just, within themselves, for instance, Okija, people, like marry within Okija, maybe, if they want to go far, maybe, the next town, whatever. So there was nothing, like, 4-story building or skyscraper or empire or businesses to inherit, or business in Lagos to inherit, or house in Lagos to inherit. So basically, women were not given, properties in their father's house because, the way the Igbo culture worked. If a woman marries, okay, she goes to her father's house, to her husband's house. So her husband land, because then it was only just land. Or, like a yam barn, So you and your father, your husband, you go to your husband's house. Whatever his kindred gave him or his father gave him, it belongs, it belongs to you and him. So if he passes on, the land, it belongs to you, or you hold it, for your children. You and your children will be farming the land. So that's your inheritance. So as you left your father's house, your brother marries another, marries someone, wife. She comes to the house, so she inherits, with her husband, whatever that is in that house. She, like even up to my mother had even palm trees, like mango. So a lot of things, because my father. So she came and they gave it to her. That's yours. Because usually women, they take care of the trees. They belong to the women. If you're married, you come to your husband's house, the trees, that he inherited from his father, those are your trees. So you farm the land, that's the culture in Igbo land. That's so there was nothing, splitting hair. There's nothing, too complicated about that. So it was working for them. So the white men came and they started going to Lagos and some other places, and so there was issue, like some people would things left by their brother, they would try to get into it, fighting with the wife, and but then Igbo people stepped in and they started addressing those issues. So in many places in Igbo land, the kindred, they came, they said they gave the property to the woman and the to her children. So there are isolated cases where people like people who are unfair, unjust, criminals, they treated the wife, badly. But in general, sorry, my phone is dying. Let me charge it. Let me put on.
Yeah,
so, but in general, in Igbo culture, in Igbo society, so these things were taken care of. Even there was a case, a celebrated case. I think the case started before the Civil War. I think it was settled in, I think, the early 2000 or so. So the woman and the husband died. The husband had a house in, I think, in somewhere, I think somewhere, outside Newi, there from Newi. So the husband's people, they went in there. So the woman took him to court. So he went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that it belongs to the woman. Anyway, but why I'm saying this, like this guy, he's trying to compare, Islamic culture with Igbo culture. Igbo culture has been able to change, to adapt, to the realities of our time. But Islamic culture, Sharia has never been adapted. It cannot adapt. All over Igbo land now, from my experience, my cousins or whatever. If the husband dies, he has many, wives. They come in and they settle, this person, get this, this person gets this, and then we have customary courts that addresses those issues. But now you want us to go to Sharia, as it was in the beginning. So will it be, and so will it be forever? What kind of culture is that? What kind of law is that you cannot change to accommodate what is happening in modern society? I don't know. People are here promoting such a such a religion or such a. I mean, let me separate. But I don't. I want to say, let me separate it from the religion. But they are connected. You can't separate Islam from Sharia. So, but if there is any way they can practice in Islam and remove Sharia, how it deals with yeah. I mean, I understand inheritance. I understand that you want to have a banking system whereby there's no interest or whatever. I mean, it's okay. You can do that. But when you're telling if you're telling that we have to incorporate that into our criminal laws, and I mean that's scary. We don't want to live in that kind of society. If there are things good in Islam, we can incorporate it. And Nigeria has been doing that. We have Islamic banking system in Nigeria. We have Islamic bank in Nigeria. Everybody in Nigeria, even when they came in some time ago, I think 2 years ago, or whatever. A lot of Nigerians, were like there was a debate. A lot of people said, okay, it's good. They're not charging our interest. It's good. Nigeria even borrowed money from Islamic bank also. So we don't have problem with that. All those good things. But to come and trying to force it on people, political one, no, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be destabilize the system, destabilize Nigeria. Nigeria is a cultural place, and that kind of law has even in Afghanistan, it's not even working. People are rebelling every day. Saudi, people are rebelling, and they're relaxing the the rules, the laws, gradually, and then imbibing, bringing something, things Western, So they are trying to change, but then the law itself, nothing has been done to it. That's my that's what I have to say about it.
Thank you. I think we are going to be running up in about 10 minutes. So from what I've gathered, you don't have any turn left. You've had enough. No, he's got a turn. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. So hold on now. See, in the Bible, it never stated a language. That's for sure. I've confirmed it just now, and I think that we have to always be factual about things. And hold on. Jeez, man, people. Turkey is 99% Muslim.
It's my turn.
They don't. Yeah. Okay, hold on now.
Let me use the 10 minutes, man.
Can you finish making a point so that viewers can hear what I'm saying? No, instead of us just saying we want to talk. We are grown men, for crying out loud. Let some people try to learn some things.
Yeah, but you're not being fair. There's no fairness in the way you are arranging the whole.
It doesn't have to be fair. Neither was the damage is fair. Just allow me to do the moderation. Believe me, you're not going to have a perfect session. You can't have a perfect session. It's impossible. Somebody will always complain that it's not fair.
You're being unfair, dog. You're being unfair.
Calm down. I will come to you. You still have time. For 5 minutes. See, the religions, one, they didn't mention this in any language that was used to convey the message to Mary. That's clear there.
Let me ask
in almost all the encounters. No. Let me finish what I'm saying. In almost all the encounters, they didn't do that.
What language do you think they used?
Yeah, hold on, please. That's not the point. The point is that it is written that this language was promoted in the Bible specifically. See, they didn't say what language it was used.
So what language do you think?
Can you stop interrupting me, please? I have a point to make here. Turkey is 99% Muslim. 99% Muslim. And they have now.
Okay.
And they have a secular constitution. They didn't implement any special rules for any religion. The other, you can still have your Islamic bank if you want to do that, but to go and start extending it the way they were looking to do in the House of Assembly, they didn't do that. And yet, it's a 99% Muslim nation. So this is why I think it makes sense that they shouldn't keep looking for a way to expand the remit of the Islamic role in the Nigerian state. There is no need for it. You can practice your faith. Can I finish, please? You can practice your faith without having to extend into the constitution. How is that being in the constitution going to make you less likely to go to heaven? Or more likely to go to heaven?
The thing you showed us, right? And we were all talking about Southwestern Nigeria. You have a very big comprehension issue, a very big, sadly. You showed us
Now it's not your
something.
turn. I'm sorry, it's not your turn.
What?
Hold on. As you can see, the time is short. Loco P, take 3 minutes, and then Eccentricals takes 3 minutes. I think we just do 3 minutes, or maybe 2 minutes actually. We don't have a lot of time. I don't want to violate the next session, so let's do 2 minutes so everybody has a chance to speak. Thank you, Loco P.
What time are you closing the program?
In about 8 minutes.
Okay. Well, just to summarize what I wanted to say is simple. Look, culture. There's no culture that is bad, and there's no culture that is good, right? It depends on how you implement your culture, how you practice it, and how fairness and transparent you want it to be, open. You get me? So the subject to what we were arguing, which was the Sharia, whatever, like I said, starting from the Nigerian constitution, because it was the Nigerian constitution that exposed all this stuff. Yeah. Now, if you say Nigeria is a secular country, and you have Sharia mentioned in the constitution 73 times, you have Islam mentioned 28 times, you have what's it called, Muslim mentioned 10 times. You understand? And the other countries, the other religions that are in Nigeria, you don't have one or half of them mentioned at all. You understand? Bible, Christianity, Jesus Christ, or wherever. You get my point? It calls for eye-opening, like they say we are equal, we are all, practice our religions, by ourselves. Why are you people putting this certain religion in the constitution that we must obey, and leaving my own religion out of the constitution so that nobody will obey it? You understand? It might be there for their sake, but for the other religions, it will prick them in their heart to like, are you sure these people don't have any ulterior motive to do this stuff? That is one. Then implementation of the Sharia law right now, like I said, is good, right? When it comes to morality, because like I said, Nigeria is morally bankrupt. Sharia law can, especially our young girls and young boys, can, put them in order in this their nonsense lives that they are living. You understand? Sharia law can, Muslim law or whatever way of living, can put them in order. Unlike Christian, where leave them, just don't worry, God will punish them. Leave them, they are sinners, don't worry, repent, this and that. No strict rule to like, you must conform or else we will deal with you. You understand? To make you conform. Islam and Sharia, they always, I like what they do when it comes to that. That's why you don't have the women and boys misbehaving or exposing this and that, dressing indecency, live some drug and promiscuous life. They don't do it in Islam per se. If they are doing it, but in a small, confined or hidden space. You get my point? So that's not where we are. So, but like I said, it's the practice making it seem as if it's only for the poor and to attack who doesn't believe in Islam, that the way it is being displayed, practice as well. Then for those top Islamic politicians, you understand, you don't use that Sharia to punish them. That is where the problem is. Like I said, it's the practice. It's not Sharia, it's the way you implement it. That is the problem in Nigeria. That's why we are scared of not coming to the southern part of Nigeria. That's it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Eccentricals, please go ahead in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right, I'm going to give my 1 minute to I speak the truth. All right, because I'm not interested in this topic anyway, and you know that. But I'm going to say this: that Dr. Damages need to find other panelists, that could come up with more interesting topics than this. Like, I've been sitting here for how long? Like 2 hours, 31 minutes. I mean, come on, man. Time is money, right? We could be doing a lot of things. I mean, we come here to contribute, to have like some kind of intellectual discussions. Like this kind of discussion kind of devolves the whole thing into like some gutter, devolves the whole thing into the gutter, right? And that's why you have a lot of people that jump in anytime this kind of topic pops up, and then they show up and then start displacing their bigotry, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what I'm getting out of this, right? Nothing. Like, I don't see what any viewer is getting out of this, right? Like, there's nothing. It's not in reaching. It doesn't help us elevate. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to.
I think you used up the 1 minute.
All right, go ahead.
You want to use the 2nd minute?
Go ahead. Use my 1 minute. That's last 1 minute.
Yeah. Ike, please go ahead. 2 minutes.
And my brother, we are not We're not fighting anybody, but we're speaking from experience.
No, we're not. No, you're not speaking from experience. Hold on. It's my 1 minute. I heard you talk. You spent like you spent at least 10 minutes talking. We heard you.
Taking your 1 minute back.
I'm taking my minute. He's not. I didn't give him my 1 minute.
Taking your 1 minute back, okay.
Nice. 1 minute. I gave it to someone else. He's trying to take that. All right. Half of
I'm
Turkey.
not taking it.
Not taking it.
No, Father asked me to speak. I'm not taking your 1 minute. He asked me to speak.
It's my 1 minute.
Taking your 1 minute.
It's my democratic right. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving it back to Turkey. You know? I'll give it back to Turkey. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Wow.
Okay. Listen, I just want to say something.
No, it's my 1 minute. Let have a turkey finish, then you can go ahead and speak. I know you are.
Oh, no. It's okay.
Your 1 minute is up. Your 1 minute is running already. It's about 30 seconds remaining now.
That's not true. You have to rewind the time. He took my 1 minute. All right.
What kind of wahala is this one today?
This is not hard. Like eccentric. I mean, you from here, so you know how this works. When Nigerians, primarily they're bigots. Okay, they try to deny. They're hypocrites, and I understand it because I can understand why. If you grew up in a society like that, you could like have certain fears on things like you're not familiar with. I get it, but I think it's imperative that as time goes on, a lot of them just need to start becoming open-minded instead of being hateful. And it is hard to shed that skin if it is a coat that they've been wearing forever. I get this, and I know you get this. Okay, so all day, all week, even when Rahman came and Perry came, and this is why I kept saying, if you listen to me,
okay, your 1 minute is gone, so you can use
you'll get that. All I was saying was, if you notice, they are saying they want civil aspects to be implemented on them. Stop this fear where you acting as if they want to run around chopping people's arms off. Sharia law has been in effect in parts of Western Nigeria for over 300 years. We've mentioned the towns, they don't have a problem with it. Why are you people that are not even from Southwestern Nigeria, for example, and I know you hide under the banner of it is Nigeria. If these people have been living like this and they have no problems with it, why are you against it? They're not saying they want the criminal aspect. They're saying they want the civil aspect. And I just mentioned in an instance in terms of like finance and inheritance, which they are not interested in paying 20% interest back on a loan. They are not interested in a society where they cannot easily divorce. They are not interested in a place where they cannot inherit the properties of their fathers or their husbands. No matter how you guys try to play it, some of us know about our societies. You might think you could come on here and bamboozle people, but there are people that understand. So why would a Muslim woman, for example, want to be under a customary law? Say, assuming she marries into a family in Eastern Nigeria, why would she want to say, I'm going to leave without any form of compensation after the marriage is over, maybe due to death or divorce, when that is not even a tradition? So if you people want to come on here and try to tell us how vicious these people's laws are, they're saying we don't want the criminal aspects. There might be people like Perry that say they want it, but most of them want the civil aspects. Why? Because it is beneficial to them.
Time's up. Sorry, time's up. So that the next person can go. Ike, please go ahead, and then Tony.
Good submission, man. Good submission. I'm gonna do my research.
I just want to lay a background. Most of us. I lived in Lagos. I schooled in Lagos. I did my business in Lagos. The second house I lived is owned by a Muslim man. There is a mosque in my house. There is an Arabic school in my house. And I live at the third floor. The last flat at the top floor is where I live. Why my shop is at the down of the building. I lived in Mali for 13 good years. Mali is 99 Muslim country, like forefather was saying about Stocky. They have a secular constitution. I don't have any problem with whosoever wants to be whatever he wants to be. Let us not try to bring our heads together for nothing, right? Anybody, Pokoli was saying that the Sharia law can be good for because of what the people, the so-called Christians, the younger ones are doing. Pokoli, if you have not lived in a country where there are Muslims, what they do, you don't see. But I am speaking from experience, right? I lived in the north for 5 years. I lived in Kaduna for 5 years. So I am a detribalized Nigerian. I know everywhere. Those people who claim that you see that they don't, when during the fasting time, when they carry kettle, they're going to pray. Do you know that 85% of that kettle, what is inside there is beer? It's not water. They use the kettle to cover up. They go there to drink their beer and come out to tell you they went to the bathroom. I am telling you from experience. I am telling you from what I know. I'm not telling you they say. This is what is happening. So, my brother Pokoli, if you have lived in the midst of these people, you might not even understand. You might not even believe what happens. Like as you said, maybe you did make a point. You said maybe they're doing it, but they don't do it mostly in the public, right? But I'm telling you, whatever that you find in the house of John, you find it in the house of Muhammad. It all depends whatever we want to believe. So, but where I'm standing today is that there should be no Sharia law enshrined in Nigerian constitution because Nigeria is a secular country. Worship whatever you want to worship.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tony, I really appreciate your patience. Thank you. It took a while. Thank you for joining us. So please give us your closing statement.
Well, not much to say other than to wish first the platform many good things to come in 2025, and then to wish my country, Nigeria, prosperity and better governance in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Regarding the statement by some panelists that there was some kind of bigotry going on here, maybe some of the speakers may have some bigoted, innate ideas, but I didn't hear it explicitly described. Most of the stuff that was described here were based on just statements of facts. And just because somebody states facts doesn't mean they are bigoted. They are trying to ask pertinent questions. Here, if they are being bigoted, I'll be the first to challenge them here.
No, you won't because you're bigoted too.
Can you just stop, please? Can you just stop? If somebody is being unfair, you have to call them out. Stop pretending as if you are not biased. You are the biased one because you are not hearing the other side's concerns.
I listen to everybody. That's
You're
the
not.
problem. So
you just think you are. You are not. You are not balanced.
I am very balanced.
You spend so much time. I've never had you spend that much time defending any Christian stuff.
Because we haven't had it.
So then how can you be balanced then?
Did you even hear what I...
You can be balanced on the topic. It doesn't mean balance on religion. Balance on the topic, not religion.
My point is that I just said that all the people that spoke, I didn't hear anything bigoted.
You just
what
said
they are saying.
I didn't even say anything. How do you know what I was
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. You started talking as usual. You didn't let me finish what I was saying. I'm just saying that I didn't hear them be bigoted. I don't know why they are being accused.
And I said you won't hear it because you're a bigot.
No, I'm not. I'm calling it out for what it is. No, I'm not. If I was a bigot, I would be saying all kinds of incendiary things about Muslims. I don't like them and all kinds of stuff. I will not shy away from saying it.
You do.
But I don't have. See. I don't. I call it. See, are they not killing black people in Sudan? Are they not? Is that not a fact?
That got to do with the conversation? This is
it's Arabs that are doing it. You see, your problem is that you don't seem to understand because your scope is somehow limited. Because in this topic, you have your own.
You're bigot,
there's no bigotry in it. How can you see people killing your own people and here making an excuse for them? No, I'm not going to have you say this kind of stuff constantly.
Okay,
you as if you are the victim, but you're not the victim.
But you're being a bigot. Let me tell you why you're
No,
being a bigot.
I'm not a bigot. You can just use you use that term flippantly, just like people accuse you of racism. It becomes completely useless.
Okay,
and
good.
It's not being helpful because those people that were here, they were not being bigoted at all. Those people that were here, they were not being bigoted. They were
we're not talking about them.
So hold on. Let me put this back on because it looks like we are talking out of the nether realm here. Because you accuse me of making a false statement until I produce this evidence.
No,
like the other evidence. Hold on. Like you said the other time again, you asked me questions. Then when I produce evidence, you shut up your mouth and move away from it.
Listen.
This is not. See, hold on. What I'm saying. When the House of Assembly blocked that thing, they were not being bigoted. They were saying, you know what, that doesn't gel with our own.
What is that again? What is that? And I know you're going to jump in soon because you eat parrots for breakfast.
You see, just say it and just move on.
Oh, exactly. The parrots that you always eat for breakfast. So
you just like going around.
What again? The parrots that you need to start.
Get to the point. I don't have time for this nonsense. You are not getting to the point, and you're pretending as if you are making a statement. Oh, you're parroting. This is all you do. Add honing in. What do they call it? You just insult people on the side when not getting straight to the point. And I don't know why Seneca took your side on that issue today. All people said we are addressing the key points that they have issue with. They are saying that, oh, this is what the Quran says. This is what the Quran says. Instead of you to educate people, you are busy insulting them. I don't understand it. How about the viewers? Let's say the person is bigoted. How about the viewers? The viewers are not bigoted. They probably want to learn.
Well, the issue that I have is like the topic is not in reaching, right? Like it doesn't like inspire like any kind of fresh thinking. You know what I mean? I'm not learning anything out of it. I mean, we had this discussion before. You know what I mean? Like
it does to an extent.
Finally, before that, you will say you want close the show. Close the show. Yeah.
All right, let's close out.